afternoon report. The afternoon woke up with Chill and Darius. How you doing? I'm chilling. Are you planeting?
Yeah, it's another great day. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day.
It's been a very long day. Sure, it's been a long weekend. It's been maybe a long 2 years, and I hate that I start that way. But that is always on my mind, not Chillmonger's mind, but the guy who's when you don't see on screen. Like I'm always engaging with man, death, destruction, the whole world. I don't know, man. Phones we were not meant to have. And when I say death, celebrity deaths too. Like we were not supposed to know about all these people because what happens is they all die. Robert Redford, who recently died, Hulk Hogan. I could have picked a better name, but there's a lot of people who are dying that we know about, and just the access to all the information, damn, has some damaging effects. Um, and I don't know. I think the phone and that information stuff has been bringing me down on a personal level. What's going on, Roberta, the church auntie in the building? Watch your language. Hello, hello. Nary's 21. But I feel like I maybe am I being irresponsible, Darius? If I just tune out, I block, and I cut out all the information there. Isn't that being irresponsible? Isn't it like my responsibility as a citizen of the world to mention that Congo right now is being exploited for their resources and it really never stopped since King Leopold in Belgium? Or do I have to read? Do I have to observe so that I can spread the news? It's a different balance. It's affecting my days and it's affecting my life and my attitude. Really, it's sticky.
Yeah, there's definitely a balance. Sometimes you have to take a cleanse. You have to take a break. I wouldn't say tune out. Tune out those things indefinitely. I think it's I saw Jeff Snyder put on his Twitter today that he is not really a political person, and I always think what a privilege it must be to not be a political person, to not
See,
be something
yeah,
that affects all of us. But
yep.
I don't say you just completely dismiss it. I too I too am exhausted, not just exhausted from my own personal stuff, but I'm exhausted too from the news. Exhausted to the point where I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to debate. I don't want to explain things. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. So I too was thinking, cleanse. Like I can't just completely stay away from it because the way my algorithm and notifications and things are set up, I get those things, but I don't have to give it my energy. Um, I don't have to give it my energy as far as like that. Now, like I said, I'm always in that stuff. So there was like a week I had given myself maybe a few weeks back or last month where I didn't engage as far as like I didn't watch Jimmy's monologue or I didn't watch the Daily Show. I wasn't watching, some of those things I normally watch or whatever, and just kind of backed out of the political loop just for a few days. But I do think it is irresponsible to, it burns me alive when I talk to my mom sometimes or someone else in my family, and I'm like, you see what's going on? Oh no, what are you doing? Where are you at? How do you not know what's going on? Things like that. It's just like, come
That's
on,
the
no.
goal, though. That's why Trey Reed getting lynched is being underreported, so that the older generations are not really focused on that because they still rely on their news not from this little thing and the important influencers, but they're getting it from mainstream media who don't cover things. Like I said yesterday, 50 states, one Israel. All these politicians were like, "Oh, we're going to support Israel." CNN wasn't covering that. No one was going like, "Yo, what?" Seems to be some sort of conference in Israel involving American lawmakers. That wasn't making the news, and you can minimize the significance of certain things.
Yeah, it's just, also just protecting your peace. Sometimes you have to protect your peace, and that involves, that's not just so much always, like protecting my peace from people around me. That is protecting your peace from the news around you and things
Mhm.
like that as well. Like I said, I can't completely ignore it. That's just the way my shit is set up. My stuff is set up. But I know whenever um, I need those days, which I'm thinking this is probably this weekend and some days, because this has been it's been a week. politically and been a week personally.
So maybe let's lighten the mood. Here's my favorite, Jade and Jada. Okay, they're on Twitter, on Instagram. They're doing their little video. They're doing their thing, and this is gonna tie into the movies. Okay.
Oh yeah, you like them.
On the floor. That's how you do your teammate.
What is this?
Shut up!
No. We have to lock in.
It's the way you said shut up.
Yeah. It's like
too high.
diaphragm.
Shut up!
Yeah,
Oh.
diaphragm.
Shut up! Okay.
All right. That man smiling.
Jade and Jada, they got the rub. They're on the studio's watch list as far as like advertisers to help promote. I've seen different Instagram content creator type people get on this level. It is nice to know that my girls, who are always on my explore page, I don't follow them, but they're on my explore page. Shout out to them for getting that Universal Pictures recognition. Yes. Does
That's
it make
what
you want to watch him anymore? Because I've been hearing hit and misses.
Oh, I was never watching him, but no. Lawrence came in last night and didn't have good things to say, but like I said, I was never, after we watched the trailer, it wasn't one that I was going to be watching.
Honestly, yeah, the trailer was enough for me to just say pass, full pass. You want to begin just with the short comic book stuff, because surprisingly, the Hollywood Reporter was doing coverage on Batman. I didn't expect them to. And Matt Fraction, great writer. I love him from his X-Men stuff. He was given the job of working on Batman. And I got it right here. Batman #1 comic sells over 500,000 copies. The issue, which hit stores early September, is likely to top the top selling comic of the year, and shows the continued appetite for stories featuring the Dark Knight. For Boris Kitt to write this is impressive. I don't expect the Hollywood Reporter to touch on a comic book, but 500,000 is a hell of a lot of comics being sold. That's about as much as when Star Wars rebooted, like in 2015. That's how it did there. I saw there's a YouTube channel called The Comics Pals. If you guys like comic books, check them out. And shoot, they reported somewhere that it's like 70% better in 2025 than it was in 2019. And that's before lockdowns and things. So it looks like there's an upward trajectory of comic book sales somewhere down the line. I don't know what DC has been working, bro. I remember watching AEW wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, and they had Batman and Wonder Woman, and people were watching a wrestling product, but the ring skirt had superheroes on it. And it was like, oh, that never happens. A comic book ad. And there's been different strategies to try to make comic books work and be more profitable. One of the things they did, Matt Fraction getting hired, is awesome. Is like an answer, is a step in the right direction. So yeah, great #1 sell. Of course, #1 is always going to be a high-selling comic book, and we'll see what happens. A year after launching Juggernaut publishing line with Batman at its center, DC has another massive Batman comic hit. The publisher announced Thursday that its Batman #1, a relaunch written by Matt Fraction and artist Jorge Jimenez, top-tier talent, has sold over 500,000 copies. That number puts the titles as the top-selling comic of the year so far. Hey, Deadpool and Batman have a crossover coming up that is unlikely to be topped despite one more big publishing event in the calendar, the 2-part company crossover between Deadpool and, you guessed it, Batman. DC.
Yeah, didn't Batman beat Deadpool? That's what everybody was talking about.
People are complaining about that like he's not Batman. What do you what's the problem with that? Batman beat Deadpool.
Yeah, I didn't know anything else about it besides just everybody talking about that online.
It's nuts. But yeah, that's probably going to be another high seller. If it's not 500,000 copies, it could be 300,000 copies. I don't know. Will they be so forward with how many of those sell? So DC was leading this year with another top seller, Batman issue 158, which featured the return of the DC chief Jim Lee to drawing duties in a sequel to his and Jeff Loeb's classic Hush storyline. That comic published in the spring and has sold over 400,000 copies. That's fire. That Jim Lee can say, I'm an artist at heart, so I'll stop being the chief of DC. I'll stop being that president, and I'll just draw a comic book. And they get that number, 400,000. Yeah, another comic that 400,000 plus sales level was Invincible's Universe, Battle Beast #1 from Robert Kirkman's Skybound and Image Comics. It's cool. It's cool to have the image. It's cool to have the independence. So I don't want to read more of the article because I think you guys get the point. It's just a good news story overall. So salute to the comic book world, you know. That's the roots. That's where all these stories come from. We are a fan of them, even if we're not reading Batman #1, which I'm not. I'd rather talk about that, though. I'd rather talk about that good news story. May I shift over to Star Wars?
What is going on in Star Wars?
Cara Dune. You see here, Deadline tells us that Gina Carano has signed up for a Vegas crime series, Logan Rain,
Star Wars.
teaming with the Get Out producers for her first TV project since Mandalorian. Yeah, okay, fine. It's not a Star Wars story, but it's kind of interesting to me to see that my lady over here is getting mainstream work right after that settlement. It's her first time. She's back. Gina Carano. You can't silence her free speech, you know? We know how they like that free speech stuff, except when it's against their causes. Logan Rain is someone I have been craving to bring to life. Carano told Deadline. I'm bringing every ounce of who I am as an actress and what I've learned in this industry to this role. And at the moment, I have a lot to give, says the actress who played the Marshal for the New Republic, Cara Dune, for 2 seasons. She's returning to Las Vegas, yada, yada, yada. That's where I used to fight. And really nothing more. They talk about the Elon Musk-backed lawsuit and that kind of stuff. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future, Disney said. Okay. How happy are you for Gina?
Yeah, good for Gina. I was never really a big Gina Carano fan like that, like everyone. Nor was I a big Cara Dune fan either. But I'm happy for her. Glad she's getting work. She waited a long time to get that work and worked a long time to clear her name. So good for her.
Okay. Jumping over to Marvel. Oh, someone says that my LCS was able to save me the Batman and the Deadpool past the cutoff date. So I'll pick it up at my next stop. Yeah, some comic shops will do you that solid. But always remember that there is a cutoff date. And if as long as you just say before the cutoff date, hey shop, I want the comic book, you'll be covered. And they'll restrict it or reserve it, for you. And now you say, she of course misquoted MLK. And when I called her out, she blocked me. The Bird app. What? Do you get this?
Uh-uh.
I'm lost, KJ.
He said the Bird app, so he's talking about Twitter.
Oh, Gina Carano blocked you because you talked to Gina Carano and she blocked you? Yeah, man. Celebrities and their block fingers. Moving on to Screen Geek. This is very frustrating, Darius, because I read the article and I was reading in the headline. I clicked on it. They got me. And I saw all these freaking ads and I realized that this is just clickbait. Marvel Studios cancels a sequel to the MCU movie. It takes forever during this article to get to exactly what they're talking about. And it's here. Kevin Feige says this. So after I saw this little thing for Ren's Pets and how I can save 40% and after they get paid, here it is. Kevin Feige says there are no immediate plans for Eternals 2. Before adding, there are, and I think you've seen maybe in a trailer we've released recently, an acknowledgement of some of those events. Certain giant things come out of the ocean. So this quote is actually from before Brave New World came out. And so this person from Screen Geek, and your name is Jacob Dressler, you wrote an article on September 19th about some old ass news. And that's my frustration, that you got me with, oh my God, they're canceling a sequel. It was never announced that Eternals 2 was going to happen. It was always a dream. Like it was a dream that Fantastic Four 2 was going to happen when Shang-Chi 2 was going to happen when they started with the Shang-Chi movie. Of course, there's always the dream of it'll do so well, we'll get a sequel, but they never officially announced it. I was thinking, oh my God, the 2028 slate was, man, what a waste of my time from Screen Geek. And I hope that Screen Geek gets all of this attention and this hurts their reputation, all because of this stupid whack ass writer Jacob Dressler for pulling me along for that stupidity.
Yeah, I didn't read it. Didn't know anything about it. Been out of the
Mhm.
loop.
Totally non-story. Total non-story.
Yeah, didn't know anything about that.
We'll jump over to more actual Marvel stories, which is that Spider-Man and Daredevil. I always mix up Deadpool and Daredevil. From the Cosmic Circus. It says that Brand New Day will reportedly take place after the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So just for the timeline for the spring, we will get Daredevil Born Again. We will watch all the episodes. It'll come to an end. And in July, we get to see the Spider-Man movie, right? So really no problems here with timelines. We don't have to think about anything special. Daredevil happens first. Spider-Man happens first. And that's the order they release. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the people that pay for some of these questions and then get these answers. It's beyond me. Even if that is true, because I don't know how Alex would know that, but even if that is true, I don't know. Do they mention that in No Way Home or No Way Home Brand New Day? Maybe
Probably not.
Maybe not. Is Daredevil in it? No. I can't say that for certain, but I don't think so. Not say anything about it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Have you read?
Cool.
Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I guess cool. Yay, the events are mentioned.
Have you read everything here on the Q&A? Because that story probably was like not a big news story, and which would indicate that every other thing that's released in this Q&A is probably not a big news story. So have you read it?
No, his Q&A. No, I haven't read one of the complete Q&As from Cosmic Circus in a while, and it's again just due to things that are being asked and the questions are the things that are and the questions are the answers to those things being asked. There was another one he did where it was shared by the same people. Who is it? The Cosmic Marvel or whatever that retweets a lot of the stuff, or and we'll put via Cosmic Circus. They put
Cosmic News.
The X-Men are going to be a heavy part of Doomsday via Cosmic Circus. Yeah, so it's like, so I don't know. I didn't read it, and I haven't read one in quite some time.
We'll do it now, but not read every freaking word. I'll just try to be a very very, 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 very slim reading person. A slim reader. So Alex, I don't think they'll do that. Hi Alex, will the Fox X-Men only stay for Doomsday? And he says some will return for Secret Wars. Okay. Yeah, sure. I think the person was asking for after Secret Wars and Doomsday. Alex says, hey Alex, what MCU filmmakers do you think or hope will remain attached to the franchise? Who cares who you hope remains? Oh, hey Alex, do you think we could revisit and see characters from Earth 838 since their Illuminati were teased recently? And he says yes. Are there characters whose arcs might conclude who could meet their end in Doomsday and Secret Wars? The multiverse arc in general. Good. I like hearing that the multiverse arc is going to conclude. During the press junket, Kevin Feige mentioned a mystery film that was in development. Not particularly, no. Okay. Hi, Alex. Will there be any Avengers movies in the future that don't have other teams forced in it? Not by the looks of it. Good. Hi, Alex. Will Captain Marvel have a major role in upcoming Avengers films? To my understanding, yes. You know what's interesting? This is probably talking about Carol Danvers. I have a theory that they're going to not have Carol Danvers be Captain Marvel anymore. And I have reason to believe that Monica Rambeau will get the name slapped on her. The reason to believe that, one of the many reasons to believe that, is that Monica Rambeau's name of Photon was pulled from the movie that she just did. So they're just going to say here, and I'm going to say that's bullshit. She has her own name, and she deserves to be more than just a second version of what some white character used to call themselves. It's about branding. Hi, Alex. Since cosmic storylines are going to be an important part of the MCU going forward, will Kara Danvers be recast, killed off, or replaced by Monica Rambeau or Kamala, since her future has been marred by the Marvels, which sadly left? No, that's not something I see happening to Carol. Literally the opposite of what I just said. We'll see who's right. What's the status on the Young Avengers champions? Insert scared Haley Steinfeld nod here. Oh, so then yes, they will appear in Doomsday. Yes. First time questioner. I just want to thank you. I'm not reading that. You started with some bull. How about I just read the answers? I'd say equal amounts. They're co-leaders of the team. Oh, Kate Bishop and Kamala. Okay, whatever. Kate Bishop is going to be one of the main heavy hitters of the next saga as the leader of the Young Avengers. Hey guys, you're doing well. I really like getting into Cassie Lang's character in comics after the third Ant-Man movie. How many comics are there that cover Cassie Lang? But I know the reception was poor. Is there any word on how Feige and the higher ups feel about her as a character? Like significant reworks or changes to her or anything? It feels like amongst every champion so far, she's got the least word on anything regarding on her future. I'd argue the opposite. Cassie is the third person Kamala and Kate recruit. That is so minor. You're talking about a post-credit scene from the Marvels. And you're going to act like that's of significance? I don't think so. Matt Tapple says, what's the timeline order of these projects? Daredevil, Punisher, Spider-Man. He says, Born Again Season 1, Punisher, close to Season 2, and then Brand New Day. Yep, you just told us that. Given Feige's mention of the street-level corner of the MCU, other than Punisher, what types of connections between Daredevil, Born Again, and Spider-Man should we expect? Kingpin's rule of law and how it affects Spider-Man as a hero. Also, J. Jonah Jameson. Question mark. Not the biggest fan of Kingpin. Sure, he agrees with the politics, but he sees through his web of lies. Hi, Alex and Lizzie. Hope you're doing well. Do you think Marvel regrets deciding to canonize the Netflix shows in the MCU? Just asking, since you mentioned the Discord back. Man, I don't care what you think about if they think it's worth canon. Hi, Alex. Now that Michael Waldron is involved in Avengers Doomsday, are the events of that film the bill coming due? Yes, Baron Mordo. For Doctor Strange and his actions through the multiverse saga. Not what Mordo had intended when he said that. That's still one of the biggest loose threads that the MCU has yet to handle. Mordo is becoming an all-powerful sorcerer by using forbidden magic to take away the magic from other sorcerers, and yet somehow nothing I know has happened since then. Where the hell did he dip? Alex, you didn't even answer the freaking question. You didn't answer the question. I wanted to answer that.
Somebody paid for that.
Hello again. We will see the Fantastic Four split up in Doomsday? Not as in the team disbanding, but with half the team working one group while the other is another group. Not until the end. That's a spoiler, but yeah, that's informative. Could we see Galactus guarding Doom's castle in Secret Wars? No clue. Somebody paid for that. Will the Council of Reeds be shown for the first time in the MCU? There is a possibility of this happening, yes. Oh, he did say yes at the end. He did say yes.
Yeah, but still, I can do this. How much are people paying for these? Like, was this $5 a question, $5 a pop here? So if this is $5 a pop, let's make this a little bit more interesting. How many questions are in here? 5 times whatever that is. Let's say maybe there's 25 questions. Yeah. I could do this because this is just things that he's answering the question, most of these questions in the way that he thinks they want to hear it. So it's like, yeah, that could possibly happen. Yeah, I don't know. No clue. Oh, well, yeah, Kingpin's law, yeah, Now, there are some things Alex says where it's like, it has come to fruition. It's been true. And it's, he can drop some breaking news sometimes. But these last few Q&As from him have been stinkers. They haven't been good ones. There hasn't been any like breaking Marvel news lately that the Cosmic Marvel or any of these other outlets that put via Cosmic Circus is broken, that has sparked, say, people, going alive immediately or something like that. There hasn't been anything like that. Nothing like that lately.
Yeah. One of the few things that were picked up on was that Kate Bishop is going to be the leader of it. Cosmic Marvel. Like they decided, hey, we can make a tweet about that. It got viewed by 300K people. It was retweeted a whole lot. Kate Bishop, big star. Haley Steinfeld is, so cool. But is she really yet young? Like, we're gonna have 36-year-old Avengers. She's not probably 36 now, but she'll be 36 when they film it. 36-year-old young Avengers. Crazy.
Yeah, that's when that's a lot of people were saying on Twitter too. Well, mind you, she will be pushing 40 by the time we see the Young Avengers. So, which is true. Maybe, I don't know, that, if the concept art is to be believed, then we will see a semblance of this team in Doomsday.
Yes, yep. More on Avengers Doomsday. We've got this. It's translated. It says, thus arrives the end of filming for Avengers Doomsday. This creator, this person here, Marvin Stunt. A lot of people, another stunt team member, are over and done with Avengers Doomsday. Congratulations to the stunt people, bro. Respect to them for all the work that they put. We don't ever talk about them, but these superhero movies can't happen without them. The VFX team, man, you guys are part of it. Just because the actors get most of the publicity doesn't mean we don't appreciate you guys. So, the main story, that filming is complete on Avengers Doomsday. Principal photography.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're done. Now we just wait for that trailer. Just wait for that trailer. Cool set merch they got. They were getting things the whole time. They were getting gifts from RDJ and other things. Yeah, no, fun time for them. I'm sure now the work for the VX team gets real.
That's why RDJ needed like 10 different trailers on his like compound, because some of them were holding the gifts for the crew. This guy had 10 trailers, probably more. Actually, now that I think of it, maybe it was 20. He had like 20 different trailers. Listen, the one I wake up to, and I got a toilet, and I can wash myself, and some clothing. That's one trailer. Everyone should have that one trailer who's working. Next trailer, maybe the games room, some activities and stuff like that. Lounge, I got a TV if I want it. That's another trailer right there. Justifiable. The third trailer RDJ has, well, it's for reading. He's got to study his lines, some mellow place that's going to help him for acting. This is the work trailer. I got my third trailer. I'm benefiting because I'm a millionaire who's got that pull. Give me 3 trailers. Maybe the fourth trailer is for food. Sure. I can have my chef be here, and if I ever need the food, I just go to my trailer with the food. And a fourth is just a kitchen trailer. Understood? Understood. He's got 4 trailers. He's covered. I cannot stretch my brain to justify the other 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trailers.
Yeah. But he's a star.
Star. Okay, ne? Can't say good. Man. Help me out, chat. What are the other trailers for Robert Downey? He's got the bedroom trailer. He's got the work, let me read trailer. He's got the lounge trailer, and he's got the kitchen. There's no reason to have extra trailers like that. Maybe a storage trailer for another's trailer. Like, that's just crazy. The Friends and the Fam trailer. That's the lounge trailer. Okay, that's where you play air hockey, and you that's the Friends and the Family trailer right there. Pets trailer. There you go. If he's got a pet, you know what? Yeah. My dog's in the trailer. He said, how many people cancel Disney Plus? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's not public knowledge, is it? They've got to wait for their quarterly earnings for them to report it to their shareholders for us to know exactly how. And to be honest with you, they'll probably do a stunt right before that quarterly earnings call to bump up. They may even put things on sale. Man said, I canceled my Disney Plus, but not because of the recent stuff. Okay, Ricardo. I canceled too. It got a lot to do with Disney and Israel. Stock keeps dropping. Is that right? Is that right? Okay. I think one of the topics you sent me had to do with that, didn't it? Did it? No?
I know it was with something with Jimmy. Jimmy is not. They haven't come to a deal. He's with Iger and Disney on how to bring his show back.
Is it this one?
I don't think so.
Let's read it. It's from Puck News. But if I click on Puck News, I'm pretty sure it'll be a paywall. And yes, I'm right. I'm doing that on another tab, and there's a paywall, so we can't really read it there. Let's read the tweet. Discussing Film says that Disney and Jimmy Kimmel are disagreeing on how to bring back his show. Yo, first of all, don't ever tell me boycotts don't work. Did you see the way that they began that? They're already talking about how they're going to bring him back. Why? Because they heard you all say how you're not going to pay for Hulu. And Tatiana Maslany is going, you don't need a Disney Plus anymore, even though her show was on Disney Plus and her career would benefit greatly from the Disney Plus. So even the people are turning. Damian Lindelof, I'm not doing no more Disney. Don't say a boycott doesn't work, because it just happened on Wednesday that he was removed. And here we go on Friday, and I'm reading a tweet. I'm reading from Puck.
I don't know that it's so much the boycotts. I wouldn't really attribute this to the boycotts. I would attribute this to what I said last night, but everybody will have their opinion. My opinion of it is this is affecting cis white men. It wasn't, nobody was up in arms when it was Black and brown people or marginalized groups that were losing freedom of speech or anything like that. But the minute it affects cis white men and their community and their space and their ability to have freedom of speech, it's now get the pitchforks, now cancel your subscriptions and things like that.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's the boycotts that did it. Jimmy Kimmel was going to get his job back regardless, I believe. From, like I said, the initial reports were Iger and the rest of them didn't initially want to pull him. The only reason they pulled him was for fear of backlash from the administration. But hey,
what you just said was true, and I do co-sign 100%. It's just the way you began it was you said that it had nothing to do with boycotts. Yes, the affected party happens to be the racial majority, a minority. What do you call it when you're the minority but you're the largest group that's a minority? A plurality? Is that it? Anyways, white folk are being affected, which is why they're doing their boycotts and stuff right now. Yeah, when it was someone whose skin was darker or lower on the status, if I can say that correctly, yeah, sure, you're right. They weren't turning to the pitchforks, but now they have turned to their pitchforks, and their pitchforks are let's boycott. So yeah, I agree. So Kimmel wants to do his monologue where he clarifies his comments and emphasizes that he never believed the Charlie Kirk's killer was MAGA. He would have also fought back at Fox News, right-wing social media users, and others who believes dishonesty mischaracterized his comments to fan the flames of outrage. Yo, Jimmy Kimmel, yes! And then it says Disney reportedly thought that went too far and didn't help the situation. Bro, when you come back, you better not be what Jon Stewart was joking about the other day. You better be fully on your Jimmy Kimmel. You better insult everyone who's talking about censorship and literally was celebrating your censorship. You got to address those people on the right wing. Yes. Oh, never mind. Y'all reading it now. Yes, we are. It matters when a white man says it matters. That is truly a part of our discourse.
I wouldn't even make a deal with Disney. I would sue Disney, and I would take my talent and my audience elsewhere.
Where is elsewhere?
My own platform, if need be, YouTube.
Oh, they own YouTube too.
Who owns YouTube?
The most evil entity in the world. They just did like a $45 billion deal with Google to.
But it's still not under. It's still not under the Disney. It's not under the Disney umbrella. The Daily Show is done from YouTube, and look how successful the Daily Show is.
I'd want him to do that. I'd want him to have his own advertisers. Yeah, he's not going to make as much money, but hey, what about all of the comedians and all the stand-ups just saying we're gonna make our own channel. We're stronger together. Yeah, we can all independently own something, but Image Comics basically, all the best. Gonna create this brand new imprint. Why don't we just have like a lot of people instead of everyone having their independent? Kevin Hart has his own independent, and I'm sure Matthew McConaughey probably has his own independent thing, and I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. I think they did the Air movie with the Michael Jordan movie. I think they're the ones who produced that movie. But everyone's got like an independent. What about all the actors just saying, "Bro, we don't need Netflix, Disney, Universal, Comcast. We don't need them to sign off on our things. Let's all just freaking unite and have our own. You can't cancel us. Let's team up." That would be much better.
They could do that as well. They all did address it. Seth addressed it. John addressed it. Jimmy Fallon addressed it. They all addressed it on their shows. So that's something they could do. Yeah. I just, I'm all for obviously, if you've been here, you know how I feel. I'm not going political today, but you know how I feel. So I'm all for freedom of speech. I've been on Jimmy's side. As you guys know, or may not know, I've told Chill before, I'm an avid Jimmy Kimmel show watcher. So I support Jimmy. I've always liked Jimmy. Actually, I can't say I've always liked Jimmy.
I get
it. Yeah, but I do like Jimmy. I think what really drove me to really liking Jimmy was in 2020. That's when I liked him before, but really liking him was in 2020. The speech he gave at Kobe's funeral. Oh my God. I was crying with him. So yeah, I like Jimmy. I like Jimmy. So
that relationship he had with him, like I remember turning to Jimmy Kimmel the night that Kobe died, and it was like a show just memorializing Kobe, and I'm like, good, because I did know the two of them were nice with each other, and I did look forward to them all the time. I remember the best moments, and you know it too, where he asked Kobe, if you were still on the team, would this losing team be celebrating a win that hard? And then Kobe just looks at Jimmy Kimmel like that. Love it.
Yeah. So I stand behind Jimmy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a chance for Jimmy Kimmel to like really, really, really be a rogue, like what the comedians are supposed to represent, right? And not be a corporate, not be the guy the safe pick for the Oscars, like let us know who you are. He's had his moments though. I remember one time he was talking about the strike and the actor strike and how the directors, I think, made a deal with the studios before the actors did, and he's like, you guys sold us out. He said something like that on the Oscar stage. Jimmy's
one of the ones that's kind of been outspoken though before. He's gone at Trump and others before Trump's presidency and things like that. He's kind of been outspoken like that. That's one kind of people. One of the stories, if you want to pull that one up, it's kind of in relation to this. Tatiana Maslany. People going at Tatiana Maslany and saying, "Oh, this is career suicide. Why would you do this?" Da, 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 da. And I again, I don't want to go political, but again, I see where we are just a lot of us. In the wake of Kirk's death, it is you are seeing where just so many people's morals lie, where so many people's ideologies and just everything lie. But the biggest thing is morals. The fact that some of you think that she is willing to put her career over her morals. I mean, if you would do that, that's fine. I'm a person too, where my morals come before whatever that thing is. So I applaud Tatiana Maslany too. Good on her. People saying, "Oh, well, she's not going to be in Doomsday," or her show wasn't that good anyway, and all this kind of stuff. No one really knows that either. Mark Ruffalo is the Hulk, and he is one of the most outspoken Marvel actors that they have still on payroll. So for you to look at Tatiana Maslany and say, "Well, that's career suicide," okay. Now I can't compare her role as She-Hulk to the Hulk in Marvel, but I don't think so. I don't think it's a suicide for her. And the only reason if this was isolated and she was one of the only ones, but she's not.
No, there's 1,200 plus film workers who signed the pledge.
Right. That's why I said she's not the.
Yo, it's one thing to sign though, and it's another thing when they back up the Brinks truck, and it's a life-changing opportunity. Do so. People don't have conviction. I've seen people sell out a cause.
Yeah. So I applaud her. I applaud everyone that all the people that are using their platforms, using their voices, and standing up for the First Amendment. I applaud.
When I typed Tatiana Maslany on the search bar, it was actually pretty positive.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad she's not getting, backlash and berated and things like that, because on the initial post from last night on Twitter, there were people under there saying like, oh, just going at her. Why would you do this? Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, it's bigger than Marvel. It's bigger than you guys are like, oh, well, she's never going to be She-Hulk again. I don't think she quite gives a fuck. Like, it's bigger than She-Hulk. It's bigger than Marvel. It's bigger than the next role. So, I mean, yeah, again, good job, Tatiana.
Some people are saying, oh, She-Hulk is never going to be seen again. We live in a time when intelligent people are being silenced so that stupid people won't be offended. People have canceled the Disney Plus already because of her terrible show. Yeah. Whoa, buddy. When I said free speech, I didn't mean you could just start saying things I don't like. That's right, MAGA. Didn't Disney own Marvel where she works? You really think you're making a point?
That's what I'm saying, though. It's just like, guys, are you paying attention? No.
Not today.
I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break. Taking a break.
Okay, we'll shift on to some other news item that you have sent over to me in the Transformers world. And Tyrese, last I heard from Tyrese Gibson was when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about his relationship with DJ Envy's wife and how they messaged each other back and forth when Envy and Envy's wife were like splitting up. Gia, I think her name is Gia, and Envy, whose name is like Rashawn, whatever it is. He got on the show, and then Envy said, what you told my wife on a text message went too far. I won't say what it is, but it crossed the boundary. Tyrese apologized to him. He apologized to Tyrese. Then they made up, and they made out another fight. And Tyrese, to me, represents just some like wild, loose cannon, like a guy who is unstable, talented as hell, but just too off the wall. So I already have that bias against Tyrese. I wish the best for him, and I got no issues with his character in Fast and Furious. I love Roman in Fast and Furious, but I always now like Tyrese is he's getting closer to Kanye West than he was 10 years ago. Like, this guy is very fringe to me.
Really? You think Tyrese is on the Ye level?
I did not say he's on the Ye level, but
getting close to the Ye level. I guess I could say that if Tyrese was on my algorithm the way Kanye was on my algorithm. I mean, Kanye said some outlandish shit. Some outlandish shit. I don't know. The most thing that Tyrese does that gets on my nerves is he gets on and does 30-minute crying videos.
Yeah,
that's probably about the only thing that I can say that Tyrese does that irritates the shit out of me. Is like, Tyrese, well, first of all, brother, I'm not watching all that snot coming out your nose for 30 minutes and you blowing snot bubbles and crying. Like, first, I think it's cringe anyway when people do that. So it's like, I want you to really think about that. I'm sure everybody's heard this before, but literally, you set your phone up while you were crying and then said, wait, grabbed your phone, set it up, cried into it, edited that motherfucker, and posted it. So no, no. But I do like his role in, and maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm one of the only ones that likes his role in Transformers, because there were people in the comments of this like, oh, as long as he stays away, oh, I hope that phone call didn't go good and all this. I'm like, damn, people don't like Tyrese.
I don't keep up with him either. Tyrese isn't as crazy as Kanye. Okay, John, but you are saying he is crazy then. You're just saying it. He's a good man with a good voice. He lost his mother not too long ago. Okay, well, Kanye.
That said, he does have a good voice. He does have a good voice. One of some of the best 90s R&B throwbacks. Tyrese is on that playlist.
Yeah, hoping the best for him. Tyrese is just sensitive. Nothing wrong with that. Language, please. I'm still here. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I don't even know what I said, but sorry. Was
Yeah,
it you?
I don't know. It flows like water, so I have no idea.
You got to be gracious with us. Like, we're working on it. We're not used to you being here. Thank you, Roberta.
Wait, he did Django?
No.
Well, I know he didn't do Django, but did he audition for Django?
Oh, could have. You got to see his Django audition tape.
Yeah, I like him in Transformers. I think he's good in it.
So this is coming via Hulstausat. Whole Toos out. Tyrese Gibson teases a potential Transformers return. I was just on the phone with Michael Bay last week, so that's all I can tell you. That is a tease that he will return. That's
He's
also
in
not
it.
He's
They're
in it?
all coming. I believe he's in it, and I'm praying Shia LaBeouf is in it. That is I think, man, hard pivot back to that group. Get away from the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch group. Not that group.
Yeah.
I didn't like his movies at all. Maybe that first one. I think maybe that's about it. But the one where the Transformers were turned into pixie dust and then refiguring themselves, I didn't like that. Where they were creating their own Transformers, I didn't like that.
I think Tyrese will say something like this just to remind everyone that he's still there. He's still niche, in need. He's not niche. Transformers. Yeah, I'm in that. Talk about it. Michael Bay. So and it's not confirmation. He also said some stuff about how his Morbius movie, he had a role there, and that's canon to the MCU.
But he wasn't lying at the time. He was not lying at the time. At the time,
What?
that shit, yeah, or excuse me, at the time, that stuff was canon to the MCU. Remember? Because it was like, yeah, remember, what's his name? Michael Keaton came over in the post-credit scene. I don't know how I'm here. And then he's like, oh, I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Yeah, that whole post-credit scene. Yeah, he showed up in the Morbius. He technically, Tyrese wasn't wrong. The deal just didn't go the way Sony and Marvel wanted it to go.
Oh, you think that Marvel gave approval for that Michael Keaton scene?
I think they did.
I
think they did. You don't think so? Well, first of all, here's the thing. Sony doesn't have to ask Marvel.
You're right.
Hey, can we use our character?
Yeah. They don't have to.
So they probably. So you're right. Actually, now that I'm remembering all of that, I do not believe they did. I think Feige was just as surprised as we were, the audience. If I'm remembering that time correctly. So, no, it was canon.
Need I remind you to the nature of this relationship?
And they will be connected to each other as well.
So there is a chance that
I remember this interview. Kevin Feige's face.
She says they'll be connected, and the
Back when I
interviewer
liked Feige.
listen to the interviewer ask specifically if they're in the same worlds.
then Tom Holland as Spider-Man will pop up somewhere over there. There's always a chance.
Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt.
You can't play that. Miss
I didn't-
Roberta's in here.
I didn't know that was gonna happen. I never seen that. I thought it was just a clip. Sorry, Roberta. Damn, we're like missing right now on our PG limitations. We're failing right now. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that was Amy Pascal will say something like that, and Sony will say something like that, and then Marvel will be like, "No, approve it through us. You can do whatever you want in your movie. Yes, rights wise, legally, you can do what you want, but we will not recognize it on our side." Marvel will just do what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Inhumans. We don't recognize it.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be somewhat canon, though. They knew about Venom showing up in No Way Home. Same Eddie, same Sony.
Look, I got the Tyrese quote flopping on my side. I I think I'm right to stay on that side of it.
Maybe
Yeah.
they knew. Tyrese wasn't just pulling that out of his butt in an interview. I remember everybody got on his head too. Like, how does Tyrese know? Well, I mean, he probably heard it from maybe his agent or people were talking about it, but it wasn't a lie. I mean, it was not a lie. Venom was in No Way Home. They got 3 Venom movies with the same Venom actor that showed up in Marvel's No Way Home. So yeah, it wasn't a lie. It
was false without
didn't
being a lie.
materialize. No, it just didn't materialize. That's
It was
all.
untrue,
No,
but could had potential to be true.
y'all not about to call Tyrese a liar. No. I would call him a liar if it was a lie, but it's not a lie.
All right. So if he is not in Transformers, did he lie? Actually, I can't say he did because what was the quote? The quote was, I was just on the phone with Michael Bay last week, so that's all I can tell you. He didn't even say he was in Transformers, so he didn't lie.
But he's in it. I think he's in it. So you got him in it. Yeah, Shia. I think you can leave Megan Fox, bring the Brit back.
You don't leave Megan Fox, but bring Tyrese and Shia. She's part of the package.
I like the Brit girl, the blonde head, the girl he was.
Yeah, let's get it.
How is he going to be with both of them?
They'll just both be in it. I don't know. They can learn to work together.
But wasn't he still with the blonde girl at the end of the movie? So let's just pretend and do some world building here, some pretend world building in the middle. Let's say they stayed together. They're still together. They're married even. Yes. Why would Megan Fox need to be here?
Revenge. I'm I'm a Decepticon now. What's Tyrese's like big line, or what's the most memorable moment that he had?
She has weird thumbs.
Oh,
she does. I'm a hand person. I don't think I've ever revealed that or talked about that. It's not like it's an embarrassing thing. I am a hand person. I look at hands. Like when people hand me money as an exchange from the store, I'm thoroughly examining your hand way before the exchange anyway. But I've examined her hands. She has weird thumbs. Don't comments. We're not about to go into a big discussion, deep dive on what I just said. Just leave it at that. No, I examine hands. I've examined her hands. She has weird thumbs. For that, she needs to stay out of the movie.
I can't have a follow-up.
No, no, I don't want to go into it. It's. I don't want to go into it. I just examine hands.
Can I ask about exchanging money?
In what way?
In the most not really hands. Okay, look, in this way. I'll just say it, and then you can say whether you can no comment to this. You have the right to do that. I get mad when I'm exchanging money with people who work at stores, and they'll give me the coins first, and then they'll give me a bill. That's the correct way to do it. But sometimes people will give a bill, all right, and now they put the coins in my hand, and I'm like, yo, that's so difficult. Like, why don't you just give me the bill? And then my fingers, once I got all the coins here, look, I got coins, they're all here. Then I can just do that when it comes to the bill, and I put it in my pocket. And I get so mad at the stores when people do that, or when someone hands me over a drink and they're holding like the middle of it instead of like, if you're handing me this orange, you just hold it from the top, and my hand will go on the bottom. That's where my hand will go. You feel me? Like,
mine's like that. It's more so though. I don't want our hands to touch. Like, when you hand me the money, I would prefer we don't touch. So I like it when you do the money, the paper money, and then you can do the coins inside the paper money. Like, and then hand it to me that way. That's great. That way I can grab it. You don't have to touch hands.
He said, "I'm gonna be gloved up if I run into Dairy." Back on track. Megan Fox's drama 2. Are you sure you want that in your production?
That is true.
Major role.
I thought that's why she was no longer a part of the Transformers.
Second chance. Y'all got potty mouths tonight. Good thing that I'm close. That's right. Rogue Comics is another one who wants us PG because he'll put us on in the middle of the store.
What have I said tonight? Have I said a lot? Dang. Maybe, it's like water.
I said SHIT just a minute ago. Hands. I'm bringing out my blessed oil. Y'all got OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Haley would be dope to see that No, but her movie Bumblebee happens in the past.
Mhm.
I don't care. Who cares? Yeah, bring her in.
Oh, so B was So is that canon? B was with her before he was with Shia.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore it. We're just gonna go with it.
That's
And
not
yeah,
my head canon. He was with Shia first.
they don't care about canon like the way you and I care about canon. The Transformers lore is just they don't.
I see. Because this last one was a prequel to a sequel. What was it? A sequel prequel to the whatever, however you say it. It was
It was a sequel.
A sequel prequel to this. I forget how you say it, but
The
yeah.
Rise of the Beasts.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a sequel. It's
But it
the
was a
most
prequel as
current.
well.
Yeah, it's the most up to date of all of those Transformers movies. It was definitely a traditional sequel.
I didn't
Let's
like
go.
it.
Let's see what old Chillmonger's up to. I haven't seen this channel in a couple weeks. She got strange thumbs. You guys still got it, I guess. You would like Asia. They put it in the tray. You would like Asia.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. They like will put the money in the tray. You grab the money.
Oh, understood. Yeah. Chill service industry. They can't hold a cup from the brim. We listen and we don't judge. That's
Thank
where
you.
we are. That's all.
Thank you. We listen and we don't judge. There we go. I appreciate that.
Hold it from the
I'll
bottom.
give you another one to marinate on. I can't step on leaves that have fallen off of a tree. I know I need to see someone. I don't know. I have a lot of things. I'll give you another little tidbit. Corners.
Wait a minute. I'm still on the leaves and I'm trying to process that one. And then you hit me with corners. I don't even know how you're gonna finish the statement.
So we'll leave it there. We'll dive into my mental shit another stream.
Okay. Well, leaves are alive, right? It's nature, it's alive, and maybe like you don't want it. Well, are you vegetarian?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I got nothing for you, bro. I got nothing for you.
Oh, it has nothing to do with them being alive.
It
makes my skin crawl, makes me want to vomit.
Is it the sound?
I really can't explain it. I the only thing I can tell you is I know it started when I was a kid. I got pushed in a pile of leaves, and that shit that stuff traumatized.
Okay, no, that's valid. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that.
I don't like leaves, so I don't step on them. I avoid them. Like if you see me during fall, I'll try to like walk over and not step on them. Yeah,
Of course. There's a comic book I want to show you.
That's a good picture of Tyrese. It's a really good picture.
It is. He's a good-looking man.
I wasn't meaning like that, but that too. But the coloring, like the shading, everything. It's a really good picture. It's a good picture of him. It's a good picture.
Absolutely. How you feel about this picture here of Optimus Prime on the right, Bumblebee to the left?
It looks like the old poster we saw in 06.
Darius is very smart. You don't know what's under those leaves? Dry fall leaves. Do you like them in your salad as lettuce?
No. What do you mean?
A leaf from the outside.
Are we eating leaves? Are we eating leaves?
I don't know. Is that like a creative way to talk about cannabis? I don't know what he means.
No, I think he's literally talking about salads, but no.
Super cool photo. You get some support there. Aglax says, I'm with you. R&B album cover.
It is an R&B album cover. You take away the military and you put him in like a tank top, a wife beater. It is an R&B album cover, and it fits him. So yeah, there you go.
It's a still shot, right? From what the movie role that he had.
Yeah, where he's in the military, but not in the military in the third one because he retired. He had one of the best lines in the first one, though.
Okay, sure. What was his best line? I want to hear it.
Where they were shooting, and he's like, he's like, grab my phone. He's like, which pocket? He's like, left cheek. I remember everybody loves that line. He's like, left cheek, left cheek. He's like, my back pocket. He's like, which one? He's like, shooting. He's like, left cheek, left cheek. That's a good part. It's a good part. Josh Duhamel has a good part too, where he's sliding under the Decepticons and he's screaming and shooting them on the concrete, but his clothes didn't like tear or anything. Megan Fox had a good part too, where she tied B up to the tow truck and he let the beam down and pop, 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 pop. They played the Transformers music. Yeah, bring Michael Bay back. Bring Michael Bay back. Because they have not been anything like that without that man. And you know what makes them so good? It's the spectacle. No matter what Michael Bay Transformers film you watch, you're going to get spectacle. And you know what? Somewhat of a decent story.
I'm gonna throw to this. I've been looking for it on the side for a while. There's this comic book cover of The Thing, Clobber in Time issue number 2, where you can see that someone is manipulating the rocks on his body and pulling it. And the closer I get, the more turned off I get. Like, this bugs me. I don't know what the phobia is called. It starts with a T, but this yuck. All these circles yanking at his skin. It is. That's how I
Yeah,
feel when you
skin
look at
under there.
leaves.
I thought he was all rock.
This is canon according to this cover. I seen that a while back. Yup. Makes my skin crawl. It sure does. Boy, I remember these Transformers movies differently. There was no good parts in the Michael Bay movies I saw. There it is, Trisophobia. Oh, that Trisophobia, bro? Phobia? Tryphosophobia? It's a thing, yo. Look at that stuff. Yuck.
Ew.
Yeah, when they depict the things as the rock as scabs that can come off, I hate it. This looks gross. Yes, it does. This is vomitrocious. We're gonna keep scrolling though. Oh, I don't even know what that is. That just looks bad. Well, that's a pomegranate, right? That's just the inside of a pomegranate. That doesn't bug me. I like that fruit. But these things, these circular things, are stupid scary. Honeycombs, I'm okay with. Oh, what's going on with the hand here? That's nasty. That, I don't know what that is. That just bothers me.
It's like foam. Sea foam. Sea sponge.
A sea sponge. This face that they got here, if I can enlarge it, yuck. Yuck. Yeah, they gotta make a movie villain that looks like that. Like, Voldemort's bad and everything, right? But you imagine you're watching a fantasy show and you see a character like this and he's saying, "Come closer, I can't hear you." That would terrify me.
Greek mythology.
Trypophobia. All right.
Greek mythology.
You guys, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Tyrux looks like a transformer with that big ass. I love Josh.
I'm not sure.
Josh Trank from Fantastic Four. I don't know. Some pretty gnarly art where the thing's rocks are coming off in Slot's run when he was fighting the Hulk. Okay. I remember that fight. And it was like unfortunate because the Hulk and the Thing fight each other all the time. But when the Thing was recovering, like, that was supposed to be his week where he got to be Ben Grimm. Like, he was supposed to actually transform his body back into Ben, and it's one of the few times he has it. But the Hulk fight caused. Yeah, Tyrese is a Dometron. Make two faces like that. Josh from Transformers. Okay, Josh from Transformers.
Josh Duhamel.
Understood. Hey, we got more Transformers talk than I thought we could. Did you watch the animated movie Transformers 1?
No. No, I did not. I saw the trailer for it. I think I saw the trailer for it ahead of brand new or Brave New Crap. Was it Brave New Crap? I saw that before. I think it was. Were there trailers before Brave New Crap? No, there was no Marvel. I don't remember. I remember I saw the trailer before one of the Marvel movies. No, I saw the trailer before Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil with Malkovich, James Malkovich, Malcovoy. No, didn't look good. Didn't look good.
Mm-hmm. Once Bay had Bumblebee pee on John Tortura, I knew these Transformers movies were not for me.
Oh, you didn't like it? I liked that.
I think you got to turn your brain off for some of these and then not give it like a standard to enjoy it if you want to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
James is talking Batman.
let's see. James Gunn. I'll jump into that in a second. I just want to read these super chats.
Homeboy, man up. I'm a real get money, baller, stand up. You see it with the kid. You know what it is.
One of them days, that's getting a sequel. If Warner Brothers must be sold, I hope Apple makes an offer.
Let me see that.
Okay, that's sort of one of the topics today, and it's on the title. We just haven't gotten there yet until now. If Warner Brothers sells to whoever they sell to, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, all these options, why does it matter who owns Warner Brothers? I don't get it. What like is Batman not going to be a Batmaning if the right before the movie starts you see a different logo? Netflix presents. Are you trying to say if Netflix gets it, they won't put it in the movie theater? They're going to make it streaming? That's a theory. I don't think so. You are busy. So that's just the question that I want to ask. And the Puck News were the ones who did break that there is a bidding war that is involving Netflix when it comes to purchasing Warner Brothers. Here it is. Netflix is reportedly exploring a potential bid to acquire Warner Brothers. They're exploring a potential bid. The guys who are in the game to acquire Warner Brothers is Paramount, aka Skydance, the Ellison family. Okay. They say that Ellison has more money than Elon Musk. I'm not going to say richest man in the world. He's not a Rothschild. I think that's crazy. But it's acquisition that's happening. He's buddying up with the president and he's going to get it approved. I don't see it going to anyone else. Not Netflix, not Apple. Morally, I've got a problem with Apple. Morally, I've got a problem with all these companies. When Apple starts not using child labor, or when they stop using Rwanda as the escape, that's the country. Here's the thing about Rwanda, guys. It's next to Congo. It's next to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where all the coltan and some of these resources that are needed to make phones are from. They have no cobalt in Rwanda, but for some reason, Apple does their business with Rwanda and they buy it. So of course it was received. It was collected in a very unethical way. But because they say, no, we don't do business in Congo, Apple gets away with it. It's crazy. I hate it. And I'm going to call it out. So yeah, do I want Apple to get it? They're all evil. They're all mad evil. Next super chat. Let's go to this one. I don't think I played it in a while.
Wonder why she like me, bitch. I'm drowning in water. I just bought a cube and dipped it in a fountain.
Everywhere that I go, it's a light show. I'm surrounded. I'm Too Fly says, have you both seen the Temptations movie from 1998? I saw Fighting Temptations with Beyonce.
Yes. Yes.
Let me see. It's a mini series. It's a drama, one season.
Yeah, but is that the right? Yeah, that's the one. They did a newer one.
It's got 5 stars, so 68 ratings and 5 stars. Nice. Well, somebody voted 4 stars here. There's your answer. Thank you for the support. I'm Too Fly. And then we got the $10 super chats.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Respect coming over from Lawrence A with the super sticker. With
Thank
the
you,
support.
Lawrence.
Man, you're so and he did it again. You see, there's this one and then there's this one. There's a difference. He's got this second one and the first one. He just wanted to give us money. Lawrence, you were in there yesterday. Lawrence, you're always in there, always giving us your love. When I go to sleep, I'm like, I love Lawrence. I say all the time. It's like you're just that part of my life, Lawrence.
Always appreciated, Lawrence. Always. From everyone.
No, Lawrence only. And then everyone's giving $10 super chats. Relax. Lawrence, you get the love today. Everyone. We're not going to sit here and pretend that Rogue Comics is or Professor the Film Fan and Johnny are Lawrence. You guys are, you're Johnny. You know what I mean? Johnny says, nobody come to see you, Otis. Is that a quote from Temptations?
It is.
Okay. It felt like it. It's an underrated miniseries. Netflix is getting it. They need a pathway into the theatrical sphere. WB gives them that path. He said, just don't spend it on Disney Plus. Shaking my head. I promise. I'll spend it somewhere nice. I'll take a picture. I'll go to Lawrence Avenue, take a photo of me supporting some independent business on Lawrence Avenue, and you'll see. You guys have any streets named Lawrence in the OKC region?
I don't know. Probably.
We are near the end of some of our topics today. You said you wanted to jump to James Gunn, though, right? The stuff he said. Let me begin it with what you gave me before this Batman stuff. We'll build to Batman. The first thing is that this says that James Gunn reveals terrible advice he received when developing Guardians. I was told no one would like the soundtrack and I should change it to Britney Spears like 90s songs. Who told you that? I want to hold that person's feet to the fire. The soundtrack was very pivotal. You can go to the theme park right now at Disney World and they'll have a Guardians little setup thing and they will feature the soundtrack. It's so important to the identity of those movies.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. James gave what is quite possibly the best, one of the best. I put it up there as one of the best. I know people like to argue that. Trilogies in
oh yeah,
yeah,
of course. Oh, ever one of the best trilogies ever.
Yeah, he did a really good job on that, and that's from the casting to the soundtrack to the script, stories. I like the second one. I really like the second movie. I know a lot of people don't. I'm not a big fan of the third act, but I really like the second movie. Everything up until that final battle. So. And I think it's great.
Yes. More. Now he's talking about the Peacemaker show. And I haven't seen the 5th episode yet. I should, but I haven't seen it yet.
I want to make sure that people can pick up and watch something without having to see something before it.
Yeah.
So that said, episode 8 is important to Man of Tomorrow as anything. So
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want to make.
Doesn't the second part just kind of like negate the first part? I want to make sure no one understands. No, you don't got to do homework type shit. Sorry for my language, Roberto. I'm so sorry. But I want people to not focus on the past. You got to have their own independent, standalone stuff. And then he hits us up with Man of Tomorrow is going to be really important. That's why you got to see season 2's finale. That's the nature of a cinematic universe, James Gunn. Just get on my team. Where we got to watch everything and it's all required viewing. They're all attached, and that's the strength of the DCU. Unlike Marvel, who want to shame you because you saw some movie in 2015 and it's going to be relevant in 2025. We over here, we support the same way We support our old movies the same way Dramax supports us, the same way Diddy supports Cassie. Yeah, showing support with the praying hands, which I learned were actually 2 high fives. It's just interpreted as praying. Do you see it?
No, I see Jesus. Thank you, Dre. Thank you, Dre. Tina said as soon as I walk in, James Gunn line. About to go.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is the best one for me. Is this a lie or is this stupidity? Let's play it again. It's only 15 seconds.
I want to make sure that people can pick up and watch something without having to see something before it.
Yeah.
So that said, episode 8 is important to Man of Tomorrow as anything. So
what? Wait a minute. I guess I didn't hear that earlier. He's saying that episode 8 is important to Man of Tomorrow?
Episode 8 is important to Man of Tomorrow.
But did he not just start the interview with
Yeah.
I didn't listen earlier. I'm sorry.
He just said the opposite. He said, Man of Tomorrow fans, check out Peacemaker. Watch it. Give it watch time. Show up.
It's funny. He's funny. James is a funny guy. James is a funny guy. He said, I don't want audiences to have to pick up and watch one thing to understand the next thing. With that said, episode 8 is extremely important to Man of Tomorrow.
I think Stammen is right to say that they're not mutually exclusive, but the message behind both of those, well, in the same 15 seconds, the message behind both of those are opposite, though. But yes, you can still say the first thing without saying the second thing, without it contradictory. I just don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Hello, NYC. The anti-MCU, LOL. Then again, it's Gunn, so I'm taking that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that is true. You got to do that. I mean, he's talking about Batman. He's talking about... I sent some new things in the DM from him. He's talking about the script and where the script currently is. I thought, again, that's why you got to take it with a grain of salt. Didn't just not too long ago he said they didn't have anything on Brave and the Bold as of right now?
But now in this YouTube video, he says the script isn't done. I mean, we've got somebody writing a script. I think it's really good. There's nothing wrong with him saying that because the movie is years out. It's just that you said that you wouldn't do a movie without a script. So you announced Batman Brave and the Bold without a script, which is something you said you wouldn't do.
That is true, too. He also said that, though, with the projector from that closet. What did... and if he's serious about Batman showing up in Clayface... I hope he does that one. I hope he does put him in Clayface. So if he does put him in Clayface, because he says something about the actors too. He's like, he's got a list. He's got some people that he's got at the top of his list.
Interesting soul, this James Gunn. Another thing you sent me just now, you said that James Gunn says the tone of Man of Tomorrow will be slightly tonally different than Superman. Slightly. Superman is more comic booky in some ways than Man of Tomorrow. It has to do with dual characters of Lex and Superman at the center. I kind of just want to see this interview. Like, who is he talking?
Put on the interview because he seemed anytime James talks.
This was on the Ringerverse.
How does James have this much time? Does Kevin have this much time?
I don't know. So for 2 hours on the Ringerverse? No, it wasn't a 2-hour interview. I hate when ads play like that. Here it is. Maybe Lawrence, maybe I should buy YouTube Red with your money. So here, the interview begins halfway in, right here. James Gunn on episode 5. I think it's just an hour, and so I will be checking that one out on the Ringerverse. See what he's got to say. Not now.
There's a lot of time. That brother's got a lot of time. Play some of the things he said.
Just like a random part of the interview? Okay.
But doesn't it
alternate dimension and to
mark down
close
there
the
in
door
timeline?
behind him. And of course,
Is it like timestamped? Not really. If I read it, the timestamps are very large. Like this is him talking about episode 5. Okay. Then James Gunn on the 11th Street Kids. That's the group on Peacemaker. And then James Gunn on the emotion of the story. James Gunn on animals. There's Eagle. James Gunn on season 3 theme song suggestions. Damn, that was a segment. James Gunn on the DCU. There we go.
I have so many more questions. We're down to like 10, 15 minutes. So I wanna ask you a couple broader DCU questions if you'll indulge me, and then if we have some extra time, we can maybe do some rapid fire at the end. Connective tissue. You know, you're at the dawn of a new entwined universe. What can we expect on the DCU connectivity front in the final 3 episodes of season 2? Like, is there anything you could tease for us or tell us about the volume or nature of what those connections might be? You know, how season 2, obviously, Superman the film and Peacemaker season 2 are already deeply entwined. Everything with the dimensional rifts. Every time I saw Superman in the theater, the biggest cheer of the film was when Peacemaker showed up. So obviously the connections are already apparent. You know, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Maxwell Lord, etc. What about moving forward?
Incredibly important to, you know, I mean, listen, I want to make sure that people can pick up and watch something without having to see something before it.
Yeah.
So that said, episode 8 is important to Man of Tomorrow as anything. So,
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Intriguing. So Man of Tomorrow, you recently announced the date. Obviously quite soon. July 2027. Exciting, thrilling. Curious about like how you navigate these tonal shifts as you're working on all of these things, either the things that you are directly show running, directing, etc., but also just more broadly, you know, overseeing the DCU. All of your stories have always featured I think a blend of heart and humor that is really unmistakably yours. But going from a show like Peacemaker, which, you know, as you've noted, is like not for kids, which people should expect to be kind of depraved, and which rewards that anticipation, to different sensibilities and tones. Like, is that challenging when it is in such a tight span of time? Is that like a stimulating creative pursuit? How do you navigate that as you're actually working on all of these things in tandem?
I don't even think, I never even give it a thought. I think, okay. You know, when I'm writing a movie or a TV show or whatever, there's a definite lane that it's in. There's a part of what is natural to that story, okay. You know? And so when you see, you know, characters in one project versus another, there's definitely a different vibe. And it isn't only like, you know, language or dirtiness or anything. Like, there's a different vibe to Peacemaker. It's just much more gritty and grounded in a certain way. It's gravity is a much bigger part of the story. And even when actors come in from, I'm trying to remember where we are in the season, you're in 5. So yeah. There's a lot more to come.
Hey, he's talking about Superman or Blue Beetle. He's talking about something that we're not supposed to know about.
Yeah.
But, you know, when we see characters that are in both worlds, you know, instantly I notice that there's a shift in the performances, like rounded thing in Peacemaker. And there's something more glorious in a Superman. But even between...
He just slipped. You are talking about Superman appearing on Peacemaker.
Projects, I don't think that the story in Man of Tomorrow is slightly tonally different from Superman. They aren't that same. It's Superman's more comic booky in some ways than Man of Tomorrow, and it has to do with the dual characters of Lex and Superman at the center of Man of Tomorrow, and other things. But you know, I think even in the Guardians movies, if you look at them, they are slightly different from movie to movie, and I think that's part of the fun of everything for me. You know, I always loved when I was so excited when Aliens and Predator got to team up, you know, because they were totally different types of movies. Alien, a big goofy comic book movie. And
I don't really care about that part. He's linking things, but you don't have to really watch it to watch something else in the DCU. It's so easy to get what he's doing. I get it, Mr. Moody. I do.
I get what he's doing, but I don't know why sometimes people in the chat or whatever on Twitter pretend like James hasn't contradicted James, who contradicted the James from last week. I get what he's doing. It's just not in line with some of the things he said he was going to do or said he was not going to do. I get what he's doing.
Yeah. Another timestamp says James Gunn on Lex Luthor, but then this one says James Gunn on Batman. Let's see.
Yeah.
Your podcast that goes up after every episode. I would say that there are corners of the internet who are paying close attention to any comment you make that might be perceived as a clue on the scouting and casting front. Is that something that people should be doing at this moment in time? If you say you're watching something.
I mean, do I have ideas about actors to play Batman? Absolutely, I do. I have guys I like. I have guys that are at the top of the list for me, just like I had people that were at the top of the list for Superman. But let me tell you something. Those aren't the people they aren't David Cornsweet.
Right.
So they didn't get the job. So
right.
People can guess, and maybe they'll be right about certain things. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about specifically. But that doesn't mean that's going to be, I mean.
Right. Okay.
It's totally up in the air. I mean,
early days.
Yes. We'd have to screen test. We'd have to do the whole thing. It's unlikely that I'm going to hire someone that's like, oh, it's, whatever. It's Sylvester Stallone as Batman. We're just hiring him. He's not going to, audition. I'm saying I'm making up a huge star that doesn't audition. It's unlikely that Batman's going to be one of those guys, but it's possible. It is possible. I know like one actor in particular who is, pretty big star that wants to be Batman. We've talked about it, but I don't think, but I'm not sure that's the case.
Right. Okay. Intriguing. Pay attention. Watch this space. Watch this space.
Such a terrible answer, but it's an honest answer. That's the truth, bro. It's like it's
of course
an honest answer.
No. Rewind that. It's an honest answer. It's the truth, probably. I think that's what I just heard him say. I'm gonna go back 5 seconds.
Most of y'all in the chat only go at Kevin Feige the way you go at Kevin Feige because Kevin Feige has pissed you off with the way the MCU is going. But we're not going to sit here and pretend like Kevin Feige is not still in the category of one of the greatest producers of all time. He still gave the Infinity Saga that still is widely talked about and one of the most grossed films of all time. You can feel the way you want to feel about Kevin Feige, and that's fine. I feel the way I feel about Kevin Feige as well. I'm not coming to the man's defense, but when we make these comparisons to him and James Gunn, please stop. Like you said, they are two different people. Kevin
Feige does the same thing. It's just that we don't see it as frequently. Feige almost never gives a straight answer to anything. He's an expert on he's an expert in circumlocution. Is that like insulting? Like, I feel like that is an act. Circumlocution. Okay. James can and should do whatever he feels like. He owes people not a fuddamucking thing.
He doesn't. He owes nobody anything at all. But like I said, we be going at Kevin Feige sometimes, and rightfully so. I'm not defending the man. But y'all be talking about Kevin Feige as if Kevin Feige didn't deliver the Infinity Saga.
See, circumlocution. I was thinking something else. Like sometimes people will use the word fellatio instead of the act. And I'm like, is that related to something in that realm? So anyways, I rewinded 5 seconds and I want to hear him say, I'm being honest. Possibly. I think let's read it. Let's play it one more time.
Terrible answer, but it's an honest answer. That's the truth, bro. It's like
you heard that, right? You guys heard that. That's the truth, probably. Anyway, so look, it doesn't look like he has cast the Batman actor, or he wants us to believe he hasn't decided who the Batman actor will be. That's the official status. I don't care. We left school years ago. Chill. Get away from all that. I don't care who the Batman actor is and isn't. Sure, like you're going to audition. I support whoever you want to choose, who's going to be right for the role. You know how to make a good movie, James? I don't know. It does. The Batman speculation and actor stuff, it's fun, but it's really not that consequential. He's gonna go with the Batman he wants. What's consequential is, will Battinson be in the DCU? You know, we done with James?
I think is that it? Is that all the links on him?
No, there's more interview.
Of course.
Oh, you said
the
links?
interview. I said, is that all the links?
Yeah, it is all.
Yeah, if that's all the links, then who's next?
Oh, you sent me something about Toys R Us, which is a company that went bankrupt in your country, but not mine.
That's right. You do still have Toys R Us. Which is really annoying. Yeah, but they're coming back. I mean, they're already back somewhat, I guess you could say. They are in Macy's, in the malls and things like that. As a toy collector, this excites me. That means I don't have to I don't have to depend on Target. I don't have to depend on, Walmart to stock their things or to put the latest things out. Hasbro and Walmart actually just recently rekindled their little relationship. So, but with Toys R Us, hopefully really coming back, more than just the 10 flagship stores they're doing. They won't even have to mess with Walmart, Target, and things like that. I mean, you get to go, if you're a toy collector, you go to your local comic shops, your local, toy collecting stores. But Toys R Us, even as a kid, Toys R Us was that place. I mean, I don't know how did you guys have Toy Biz? I had Toy Biz.
No.
You know, Toy Biz? Yeah, Toy Biz was another Toys R Us, you could honestly say. But Toys R Us was that place. It was that place. So this is it's exciting, as I said, as a collector, that they are bringing Toys R Us back to the storefront, brick and mortar.
It's gonna be hard. What they used to do in the past, and Blockbuster used to do this with Pokemon, and how you could like make an event out of it, out of whatever new toy it is. It's hard because a lot of the attention grabbing that kids are doing or having is from their phones. So, what can Toys R Us do to combat with that?
I mean, kids are still getting toys, though. I mean, the Toys R Us and Stamina just said in London too are still open. So that has to mean what, kids, and I'm assuming adults.
Adults.
I would say maybe it's even more so. Are there more adult toy collectors than there are kids playing with toys?
I wouldn't be surprised if we learned that.
Interesting. That is interesting. As I sit in a room full of toys, that is interesting. I wonder if kids are not playing with toys like that.
And as I sit in a room with stars, I wonder too.
I played with, that's crazy. I mean, obviously different time. I can't tell you. I mean, I had so many different storylines and things with my Avengers figures, my X-Men. Many times I killed Gambit, buried him in the backyard just to redig him up 3 days later and have him be like possessed or the villain. I had some crazy stories where I could have wrote Marvel comics as a kid. I could have wrote Marvel comics.
And then you have to explain it to see, like, other people are watching you play, and then you gotta. No, it's just, and I won't even want to explain what I'm doing when I'm playing with my toys. You're not gonna get it. No, this is private. This is personal. You don't get to know what I'm playing with here, what I'm crafting.
Good days. But yeah, bring Toys R Us back. Like I said, as a collector, it seems as if GameStop is slowly fizzling out of business. I don't know if that's happening anywhere else. They have closed 4 GameStops here. So, and that's another place you can go to get collecting items. Hasbro has a very big deal with GameStop. So bring Toys R Us back, please.
It's because we're the ones buying them. Yeah. Hey, there's one more link that was related to Lex Luthor. I didn't send it. I didn't click on it though. Here, this one.
What are you most interested in exploring on the Lex front in Man of Tomorrow, and in the future more broadly?
Yeah, I think I'm just more interested in getting into the heart of Lex and seeing how he fits into all of this. I think that getting to know Lex more as a human being, I think we saw, a lot about the evil part of Lex. It's hard. He's pretty evil. He's a pretty big guy. But I think that I just want to get to know. I think he as a character is really interesting. I think that there's something, despite everything, that is incredibly heroic about Lex. Take aside like morality, which is hard to do. But here is this guy who's saying, you can hold up a building, you can shoot down, planes with your eyes. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your ass because I'm better than you.
Right.
And that is, you can't, I can't help but admire his tenacity and his sort of ego and his his ambition is beyond compare.
Yeah. He puts in the work.
He's the underdog. At the end of the day,
Sure.
He's the underdog. I mean, yeah, sure, he's got a lot of corporate power and these other things that he can use to manipulate things, but he can't fly in outer space. He can't lift up a building.
James,
he can't punch a.
When has Lex
something
ever
across
been the underdog?
3 states. He's a guy, and I love that.
A language.
Lex, I've never known Lex to be the underdog.
Lex is self-insert. Yeah, James, you don't have superpowers. You can't go to space.
Even that's funny. Even when Lex, you think Lex is the underdog, he's not the underdog. And me too, Raymond. I had whole storylines with my toys too. I'd pick up the next day. Like, where did we leave off last episode?
There's a GameStop that opened 10 minutes away from me. I'm surprised to hear GameStops are opening up. They're usually either closing down.
They're closing down. Well, at least like I said, they've closed 4 here. Lawrence says they got 2 years top. It's funny. I asked the guy at the GameStop because they closed both the ones in Norman. So I asked the guy in the city. I was like, "Hey, are you guys in danger? Are you guys closing down too?" He looked at me like I was dumb. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe not, maybe not." But yeah, so don't know.
I love these back-to-back comments. Lex is the underdog like Bruce is in the world of heroes and superpowers. Lex was never an underdog. He's always 2 and 3 steps ahead.
Man, that's what I'm talking. I don't know what James is talking about. Lex
He said why? Because he doesn't have powers. That's what
yeah, but that doesn't make Lex an underdog because he made himself a super suit.
So then say he's underpowered. Don't say underdog. Yeah. He's underprivileged.
Yeah, nah. Just like even like I know I use Young Justice a lot, but it's just because it's so peak. Even in Young Justice, Lex is always 9 steps ahead of whatever's going on. Like when Speedy was about to kill him, Lex was like 10 steps ahead of him. That's so I don't know. Lex ain't no underdog.
Word. Let's jump over to maybe a super chat. Ryan, you got this.
Big bank, take low bank. Big bank, take low bank. Type of money you gonna need to say.
From I'm Too Fly. You know what's worse advice Gunn is getting? You know what's worse advice Gunn is getting? Question. 2 Batman at once. Genuinely bad idea. Also, if he does the multiverse thing in the movies, bad move, Gunn.
Yeah.
The multiverse
the 2
stuff
Batman things is gonna be interesting. I don't know if the multiverse things is Darkest Night doesn't deal
Peacemaker.
Oh well, that yeah, but I'm saying like the overall story that they're going to.
I think boom tubes are part of Peacemaker. And I didn't see episode 5 yet, but I think they're boom tubes, and I think that multiverse is part of the story.
I think in anything we do, even if they go Darkest Night boom tubes, I think boom tubes and DC are just kind of a thing. Like they're always there. So I think even if they go Darkest Night, you're still going to see boom tubes. I think so.
Yeah, not as bad as Two Batman at Once though.
Yeah,
Two Batman at Once is just abysmally poor planning. Don't do it.
It is. Like I said, if Batman shows up in Clayface, and we're gonna see, I mean, it won't be our first look; it'll be the second look if you count Creature Commandos, which I feel like whatever. Anyway, if you count Creature Commandos, then you would have your Pattinson movie. And then if Pattinson movie, as we've discussed before, is widely loved, and then that Batman movie comes in and is more widely loved, I think this is Reeves' last one anyway. I don't think he's going to get a third.
Noel jumps in. Hello, Noel or Noel. New York Comic Con's October 11 predictions and Marvel Television and Marvel Animations. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not going to be studios. It's going to be TV and animation having a presence there. And I don't have a prediction at all. Maybe a Wonder Man
97.
Trailer.
Probably
Yeah,
something
maybe
on probably something on X-Men 97. Probably something on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. If they have any new animated projects that they're talking about, they'll probably debut some of that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I've liked a little bit more of their animation stuff. Like I said, X-Men 97 was just, but that person's gone. Spider-Man,
that director doesn't work here.
That Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I'm actually really ready for Season 2. So other than that, I don't really know. What If? Are they doing another What If? No, they're done with What If. I think they're done with What If.
But if they do another one, maybe this is where they announce it.
Oh, well, that'd be tragic. I think they should let that go. I don't know what else they could have animated though that's coming out.
Hey, isn't there like a season 3 rule for Disney that they don't make anything go past season 3 because it'll cost them too much?
Maybe they're doing a season 3 Zombies, or season 2. Sorry,
season 2. But then after the third season, I heard they don't like that. And then Zach and Cody changed into a brand new show. And on deck, just because like it was getting too long and they didn't want to have to pay the actors whatever rights they had. But if you it's like in basketball, how you can get a rookie on a rookie deal. It's much more better for you. Yeah. But thanks for that, Noel.
Mr. Moody, you keep telling me James Gunn literally said. James Gunn has literally said a lot of things that he has gone back on. Like that's why I don't take anything that James says at face value at all until it actually happens. James Gunn has said a lot of things that he has gone back on. So at one point he may have said Clayface wasn't in it. That's not what I have recently heard. Not from him, from scoopers and things, but hey, take that with a grain of salt.
Take this.
I take what's mine and take some more. It rains, it pours, it rains, it pours. Yeah.
I love these. I love my edits. I'm sorry, man. Just Chillmonger appreciation for a second. Those are the best. Sometimes I forget that they even exist. Grand Region Thrag with the $2.
No, it's go ahead on Grand Region Thrag.
Say no to 2 Batmen. I will say no to it. It just doesn't matter. It feels like Zaslav gave Matt Reeves the okay before James Gunn and Peter Safran got DCU. So we're gonna have to sit through and watch it.
Thank you so much for that, Grand Region Flag. No, it's not. As I've said before, there are people that will like to call James Gunn. There are people that would like to call James Gunn a liar. I have been one on the channel that has said James is not a liar. I said that he likes to protect his projects. But you saying that that's part of creativity and that's him changing. No. James will literally say things, and he's quoted saying this. He will literally say things online to get people away from what he's actually going to do. he spends so much time online arguing with YouTubers and everybody else that he gives so much things away, then he has to backtrack on what he said. There's literally, I wish I could find, I'm going to use your word. There's literally an 8-minute video that Den of Nerds pulled up, but he won't give us the name of it. I wish I had I couldn't find it on YouTube, of James Gunn lying for 8 minutes. And it's all within a scale of the past few months, brother. The past few months. So yeah, James is James.
I mean, every time it happens, I call it out and I go, remember when he said there wouldn't be a Superman 2? And then he did Man of Tomorrow and he said it wasn't a sequel, but it's a sequel now because he actually just said the word sequel. I call it out all the time. So maybe you are not watching those streams, Mr. Moody, and you're skipping the ones that make him look bad, but he's a liar. It's confirmed. Not anyone else in the chat is going, actually, James Gunn tells the truth. He's a liar.
I mean,
Right,
when there's a track record, when, like I said, it's why it baffles me when when people act like the internet doesn't exist. Like we can't pull these things up that James has said and then backtracked on and then maybe said again and then said, oh, well, no, I didn't say that. I meant this. Yeah, it's all there. It's all Googleable.
Seriously, you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to say plans change. You're allowed to do that. But what he's on is just straight up fabrications of the truth. Liar's territory. He's not redeemable. That man is a liar. He does lie, like Lawrence just said.
See, I'm the one. I'm still of the mind. I like to say he's trying to protect his project, but that's not even me, Mr. Moody. That's everybody else saying he's a liar.
And I like this one. Mike says, as someone who isn't part of the spoiler network or a fan of spoilers in general, keep lying, James. But you're acknowledging that he lies. Lying isn't always bad. Sometimes. Hey, Andrew Garfield, are you going to be in the new Spider-Man? No, I'm not in Spider-Man. That's a good lie. Keep lying like that if it's going to be a surprise. I hope Chris Evans doesn't have to lie. I hope he's part of the trailer. He should be part of the trailer for Doomsday. You know, Thor can only carry so much. We're going to see a lot of the supporting characters and some of the guys who are lesser. And then the last scene of the trailer, knock on the door. And it's the same one from he was dancing with Peggy. It's the same house. And Chris Evans opens the door. Cap is back. He shouldn't have to lie about whether he's in the movie. He plays in the fans' face a lot. That's a big point of contention. Yeah. Next news story here after James Gunn is sort of DC related. It's got to do with the Plastic Man. This dude here. All right. He stretches. He's a fun character, expressive. He's his thing. And there's a rumor. Excuse me. There's a rumor. This is from Threads, I think. Is the rumor true that you was gonna do a Plastic Man movie in the early 2000s at WB with Matthew Lillard? So again, early 2000s. And it says, it's true that Matt and I pitched this idea to Lorenzo Di Bonaventura and he was into it. Listen, man, I read this the first time and I said, whoa, Plastic Man movie, it's coming. All right. But not early 2000s like it'll be set in early 2000s, but 20 years ago, younger James Gunn pitched this movie. So it's really not much of a story. Is it a story?
Not much. Just that, hey, what a missed opportunity. Could have had Matt Lillard as Plastic Man.
The guy who played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
Matt Lillard's a good actor with a lot of range, actually. He has, the comedic range that he has. He's got a very serious, if you've seen him in... If you've seen Good Girls, he is the husband to the main chick in there. I didn't watch Five Nights at Freddy, but I know he's in it. I think I fell asleep on Five Nights at Freddy. But yeah, I like Matthew Lillard. Who's going to be Plastic Man? Who asked to be Plastic Man?
The question... How's my microphone? Is it okay?
Yeah.
The question is the rumor true that you was going to do a Plastic Man movie in the early 2000s at WB with Matthew Lillard? I don't know. It's just a rumor.
Yeah. Just that.
The chances of it happening, no. The chances of an animated and maybe you get Matthew Lillard into it, maybe.
He does do that.
He does do that. I was about to change the subjects, but a super chat came right in the nick of time. There couldn't have been a more perfect time for this super chat.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey, well, I need a dollar.
Dollar, that's what I need. Reeves may be doing a Catwoman series. Just a rumor.
It is a rumor. I did see that.
With Lisa Bonet's daughter?
I don't think so. They need to not. I don't. Well, hey, do whatever. The other one was successful. The Penguin was successful. Maybe Catwoman would be successful.
It's like that universe won't die. I'm a universe guy. I keep it in the DCU. So if you want Matt Reeves to have his touch on something that is Batman related and it's in the DCU, yes, a Catwoman series makes sense. She's not super powered. The budget doesn't need to be high. You could do something intriguing there with Catwoman. Get Batman to cameo. I like the rumor. What's been occupying Matt Reeves' time, though, it's been kept under the rug safely. I've only heard that we shouldn't make fun of Matt Reeves, but I don't know what exactly it is that is keeping him that's kept Batman 2 from happening. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Do you know anything about the secret reason why Matt Reeves has been off the grid?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
He didn't do much press for Penguin, did he? Something happened. Who started this rumor? No one ever brought up. Oh, wait. Well, are you insinuating the rumor that you're talking about, right? You're not talking about the Matt Reeves Catwoman rumor. If you're talking about the rumor of Plastic Man, then you're insinuating that James Gunn has like a dummy account or a fake account on Threads where he asks himself questions just so he can answer it.
You know what? I really wouldn't put it past him.
Mm-hmm. Penguin was too much of a hit for them to get rid of it. Yes. So, Star Wars time, right? Few stories, not too many. Mando Grogu trailer is ready for release online. Source, The Hollywood Reporter. What? It wasn't just internet chatter? It's real?
It's real. And then they put out another one. Well, actually not from The Hollywood Reporter. The Beyond Reporter says it's coming next week. And I guess the Hollywood Reporter spells out how it wasn't coming because of the whole Kimmel thing. Which I guess, in hindsight does make sense.
Yep, we're not agreeing with it, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, you got people canceling their subscription things right now, people not, I don't know, so maybe on cooler heads and get Jimmy to make a statement like, guys, it's cool. And they'll be like, okay, now drop the trailer.
They'll give him a show on Disney Plus. Hey, there's actually a Jimmy special on Disney Plus.
Hell, they might even let Jimmy, break it on his show. And, we have the first look at the Mandalorian trailer here on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
I would love Bob Iger to be a guest there, and they can just talk about cancellation, censorships, the network, and how that would be great.
Bob ain't doing that.
No, he's not, unless he's running for office, like was suggested by Marcus.
I don't think Iger's running for president.
Dog, whoever's the most anti-Trump is probably going to be the candidate who wins, and so that's what pisses me off. Calling out Trump is not a policy. I'm getting political, Darius. Calling out Donald J. Trump is not a policy. It is not useful. Just because you can be scathing with your words, it does not mean that you're worth a vote. How do you feel about workers' rights, unions, the AI problem? How do you feel towards health care, funding wars and foreign governments that are evil? What are your positions on the things that are tangible, like the wealth inequality, the gap, the middle class disappearing? If you and school shootings, I shouldn't have said those words. Those are not friendly YouTube words. But those are the policies. Don't just tell me about how you got this zinger about how Trump is orange and you're good at that. I don't vote for that. I don't care to hear you being a master insulter. Okay, all I care about the tangibles. The tangibles, baby.
Indeed.
One more super. Let's go to Ric Flair.
Ric Flair drip go woo on a bitch. 5790 spent the coupe on my wrist. Multi-million-dollar, I'm a fool.
Nobody wants this Mando movie for real. I'm good on baby Star Wars. Nah, I want the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I'm thrilled that don't listen to Darius. You guys watch too much Darius. Watch more chill. Jon Favreau has been doing 3 seasons worth of Mandalorian, and every time he goes, man, I just wish we had the budget to do what I wanted to do. Yeah, we did this Crate Dragon, but imagine if I had the budget I wanted. He's got a chance now, finally. No restrictions on the budget, or restrictions, but nothing too restrictive. He can do what he wants with a big movie. It will be excellent. I want this movie.
Well, first of all, I want to see this movie.
Okay.
I just said I don't understand the point of what we're doing anymore with these characters. That's all I said. I don't get it. From 2018 to 2025, I don't know where we're going any longer with Grogu and Mando. I thought I knew. In 2018, I know I knew.
19.
Sure, I know I knew. But then they changed it and botched it, and it is what it is. But I do want to see it. Haven't had a Star Wars film in theaters since 2019.
Yes. So Star Wars news up. The last thing I think we should touch on is more about Black Panther, more about how T'Challa isn't going to have a voice actor. The 3 of us, including Marcus from Back of the Bus, were chatting about it on yesterday's stream. It was a big deal for us. Things got late, and you left the stream. Is there something that maybe you thought of during your sleep? And I know the answer is yes. So just go ahead, take it away. Let's talk more about this topic. What do you want to say?
I mean, I really don't. Nothing else I thought about in terms of like that. I mean, I don't know what more that can be said from that I have not said about this topic many times. Only thing I will say is this. I guess you could say this is new. And I don't want to sound like, I think I said this last night, I don't want to sound like I'm gatekeeping or making it sound like I'm bitter or anything like that, because I'm not at all. I'm just saying there have been a plethora, and I do mean a plethora of some call awakenings on Twitter when it comes to this topic. And if you just look at all the different quote retweets from this, if I could do it from here, but it won't let me, I guess. All the tweets that have been are quoted from this, like here's some. Somebody said the obsession of not recasting T'Challa the obsession of not recasting T'Challa started getting creepy, and people would still defend it, eating up that Chadwick, or respecting Chadwick, while they milk the fuck out of his death. This person says, what? I don't know who made this decision, but they need to be fired. This person says, this is so ridiculous. It's not even funny. Just hire a VA and call it a day. This is performative. Someone said, bro, Tom Holland isn't even voicing Spider-Man. This is just sad, robbing new black actors out of getting a spotlight out of respect. But there were some more that I saw, and I did want to share this video with you, if you don't mind checking in the chat there and playing this. This is someone saying that they understand the recast T'Challa movement now, and they made a video about it. So as you know, before you do play it though, as you know, this has been a movement 5 years in that we've been talking about this. And as we've been talking about this, yes, shout out to E-Man on that. As we've been talking about this, many different creators and things like that, we have been called so many different things. People have come into the chat and called us somewhat akin to the Snyder cult, which I just don't agree with at all. But said that you guys need to let it go. You guys are crybabies. You guys are being weird with it. You guys are being so disrespectful. How Master MT from the disgraced New Rock Stars ex-host said that he how does this look?
He was disgraced.
I'm sure he was. They don't talk about him
allegedly.
Sure. How do you you know, imagine somebody going up to the Migos and saying, when are you going to recast Takeoff? Like, first of all, that's not even the same. And it's the thing that these people are still doing, this whole are comparing real life to fantasy. I think it's very weird. As I've said before, I've been saying it for 5 years. I think it's weird. I think you're morbid if you're still doing it. I think the animated creators over at not Takeoff, Offset.
It went over my head. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
The low-key racist. No, he just forgot. That's all.
And they're comparing this whole real life stuff and still doing the whole, you know, real life instant stuff and just making these real life comparisons. And this is a fictional character. This is a fake person. You never do this anywhere else, and blah, 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 blah. So I said what I said to him on Twitter. But, you know, you got all these people that are coming in saying these things. I just want to say, again, I'm glad that you guys are all waking up. It's fine. I like the fact that everybody's waking up, and that's great. We've seen these type of tide shifts within the recast T'Challa movement before. We've seen it happen where people have woken up just a little bit more and woken up just a little bit more and woken up just a little bit more. Each time, more and more people are saying, hey, this is weird. It's not just weird now, though. I want to make that preference. It's not just weird now. It's been weird. It was weird in 2021, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If they continue this and not recasting characters, it's going to continue to be weird. It's going to continue to be morbid. Like I said, the animated writers for Marvel Zombies that said that they chose not to have him have a voice because it felt right. It felt symbolic. In a way, for them, it felt like they could spend one more moment with Chad or moments with Chad. Do you not know how weird that is? Do you not know how morbid that sounds? That's 5 years removed from Chadwick Boseman's death, where the world is mourned, his wife is mourned, his family has mourned, but you animators at Marvel Studios still call yourselves mourning over somebody you don't even know? Shit's weird. It's weird, right? It's weird. We're all in agreement now, 5 years later, that it's weird. Like I said, it was weird then, but hey, I'm glad you caught up. I'm glad that you are all starting to realize that, hey, why won't they just recast this character? I even see a lot of you now bringing in the black part of it. Hey, good job. I'm glad you guys are all catching up. Here's the thing that you guys are saying now. You're robbing other black talent of a job. Well, my. Those
Makes
were
sense.
some of the same arguments that we were using when we were getting called disrespectful. When we were saying, hey, there's other black talent out here that you could be using. There's other black talent out here that want this role, that would love to get this role and take this role and make it a Spider-Man, make it a Captain America, make it an Iron Man. But y'all are so disrespectful. Think about what the family would want. Oh, we did. His brother told you what he wanted. Oh, well, think about what the studio would want. Well, the studio really didn't even know Chad like that. They didn't even know he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are all starting to realize that now. And I'm glad it's 5 years late, but I'm glad you're starting to realize it. I'm glad. But as I've said before, we've had these tide shifts before in the movement. It's fine to have these moments where people are waking up, but the people that really need to wake up, it's Marvel Studios.
Yes.
The tide shifts mean nothing until Marvel Studios wakes up. The tide shifts with the
tide shifts are something. The tide shifts will help Marvel wake up.
Sure. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. As I've been saying, the tide shifts, in my opinion, they're great. But to me, they still mean nothing because they're falling on deaf ears. Whose deaf ears? Coogler's deaf ears. Why do you say that, Darius? Because I've been saying this for quite some time. Coogler has a story. Coogler's going to finish that story. I'm glad everyone's waking up. But maybe had you woke up just a couple years earlier.
Yeah.
Instead of combating us, instead of telling us we were disrespectful, instead of telling us to get over it. But now that he's silenced and just there, now you're like, oh, this is weird, bro. Anyway, what the 2 minutes of this boy say where he understands us now?
Sorry, what did you say? The 2 minutes of what?
Did I send it to you? It's checked in the group chat. It's the boy where he's saying he now understands where the recast T'Challa movement was coming from.
Oh, let's play that. Yeah.
I understand. Hey, man. I understand them recast T'Challa folk. I get it, man. Now, am I 100% on board with that movement? Nah, but that's just a personal thing. I don't really fuck with a lot of online movements, but at the core, at the base, I understand the frustration. Because you can't tell me you bringing back Black Panther, T'Challa, for Marvel Zombies, but the nigga not gonna speak. And the reasoning is that you didn't want to recast, as if there's not plenty of talented voice actors who can handle T'Challa.
Stay woke.
All right, bro, cool. Wasn't there something in X-Men 97 where Black Panther was present, but it wasn't T'Challa, it was T'Chaka. But previously, in that universe, in that timeline, there was a grown T'Challa running around. Okay. And it seems like every other week we are hearing some shit about a shoulda, coulda, woulda regarding if Chadwick Boseman was still alive and what they would have done with Black Panther. Yo, at this point, they're just playing in y'all faces. They just keep dangling a nigga in y'all faces.
It ain't at this point.
When you consider everything that's happening with the comic books, the supposed video games, and so on and so forth, they don't want to commit to anything. And they probably won't commit to anything until after Secret Wars, when everything is supposed to be a clean slate. Dog, it seems like everything that's happening now, it's as if Marvel or whoever is just banking on y'all being upset or mad, and rightfully upset and mad, because it's been a lot of fuckery going around since, no disrespect, Chadwick died. But Chadwick or Ryan Coogler, they are not the sole voices of Black Panther. And it seems like Disney or Marvel, they are so latched on to those two. So,
man.
Like I said, at the core, I understand the frustration. Because if you swap out T'Challa with Green Arrow, which is my favorite character, and I see what's going on, I'd be pissed too.
Oh, that's why he's called Oliver Queen, like Green Arrow.
Some of the things that were brought up in that video, and I appreciate everybody that's coming forward now. I appreciate everybody that's finally seeing these things now. But some of the things that were mentioned in the video, we for 5 years have been putting these. Now, again, I don't know who watches the videos. I don't know who clicks on the links when people have their back and forth on Twitters with anti-recasts, and they actually send them evidence. Well, Chad said this, or his brother said this, or check out this link where Coogler said this, or blah blah blah. I don't know who is ever clicking on those things, but we've been giving pieces for years. For years, we've been giving you guys pieces. We've been telling you for years, this is what it is. We've been telling you for years. Pay attention to what they're doing. I think what was one of the things he said in there? He said it was. Let me pull that back up. It was toward the end there. Hold on.
I got you. Towards the ending.
Yeah.
Hey man, nonsense.
Go about to 140.
Chadwick died. It's been a lot of fuckery going around since, no disrespect.
Go maybe 10 more seconds before.
That's happening now. Wars when everything is supposed to be a clean slate.
Oh, stop there. So he's talking about the Secret Wars and everything's supposed to be a clean slate. Again, we're giving you the pieces. Now, I don't know anything for sure. Yeah. But I would like to think, because I've been told by anti-recasters that this is my personality, I would like to think, because this is my personality, that I do know something about what's going on within this movement, within this, what they're doing with T'Challa, something, or at least I would like to think that I have some type of speculation or know, just because I've been here so long. I've been paying attention to tea leaves and paying attention to the room and reading in between the lines, paying attention to the podcast that you guys don't even know exist, that Ryan Coogler was on, where he has said certain things. Well, I've been told Darius, he said that 2 years ago. I don't know what that has to do with his current position on how he still feels. But if he felt that way 2 years ago, and he's still telling you guys today, where we just heard for Marvel Zombies, even that they called over to Coogler and he made some adjustments, and maybe that adjustment was, hey, keep him silent. I don't know. But the thing is, even for Marvel Zombies, called Coogler. We heard from Bo. What did he say for X-Men 97? Called Coogler. Coogler made the decision. We were told by anti-recasters, and I know I've rehashed this stuff, and I even said last night I was going to stop talking about it, and this is really my last one until Marvel Studios officially says something themselves. We even told y'all during X-Men 97, we showed you what the original creator of the episode that T'Challa showed up in, that they had to use T'Challa under a code name to even get him into X-Men 97. He told you, no. Make no mistake, that's not T'Chaka in that episode. And not only is that not T'Chaka in that episode from the 90s, that episode is canon to the X-Men 97 universe, which makes it canon to the new rebooted universe. We told y'all that then, and everybody was like, "Oh, you guys are you're gatekeeping, you're crybabies, and this and this and that. And that's not T'Challa. You're remembering it wrong, and you should go back and rewatch the episode. That's not canon. That's not the same Fantastic Four. The mental gymnastics that were done. Maybe again, I don't want to sound upset that we're getting the help, but God damn it, I'm upset. Why are you upset? I'm upset because maybe if you wouldn't have done the mental gymnastics that you were doing for 5 years, we wouldn't be sitting in this position where T'Challa can't speak, where T'Challa can't be on screen, where T'Challa's being put up on a shelf because they were looking and reading the room. And what was the fucking room saying?
Good job,
I'm
Marvel.
okay with this. Good job, Marvel. Yes, did you not see the post-credit scene? They recasted the kid already. You guys need to let it go. But now that you're waking up, I fear it might be too late. But that's just me. Why are you so angry? Because like you told me, this is my personality. I'm passionate about this. Why are you passionate about this? Because of some shit like Master MT said, the disgraced new Rockstar's ex-co-host.
Allegedly.
What he said. We are sitting here watching, and yeah, it's this deep. So don't come in the comments telling me it ain't that deep. We are sitting here watching on a daily basis what is going on with black and brown people on a nuclear scale in America. So and we told y'all this for 5 years too.
Yo.
One of the reasons the character was created during the 60s was for literal representation during the height of the civil rights movement, so that black and brown people that read comics could look at that book and say, hey, there's actually a superhero that looks like me. And not only does he look like me, he's one of the strongest heroes in Marvel. Not only is he one of the strongest heroes in Marvel, he's one of the most intelligent heroes in Marvel. He's prolific in almost every form of martial arts. He can speak many, many different languages. He's a king of an uncolonized nation, and he's sitting on the throne as a black man. So in a world right now that is trying to erase our history, in a world right now that is telling black boys in Chicago that you're gang members and you're gonna die and live as gang members from your president, it is important that we have positive representation on the screen that shows these people over in China, that shows these people that go to the theaters what we really are. We're not gang members. We're not absent fathers. We are not these stereotypical things that you have put on us. That is what T'Challa represents. That is what the Black Panther represents. So for 5 years, when you went against that, you might have killed it. Good job, but thanks for being here.
Let's
now
point. Here it is. This is like a Spanish tweet talking about Ryan Coogler, Brad Whittenbaum, all that stuff. Someone quotes and says, they're respecting Chadwick by preventing new black talent from continuing his legacy. And that was a popular tweet. Look how it got retweeted 2,000 times. A lot of people saw it, right? A couple of bookmarks. A lot of bookmarks. It's crazy. So if I move backwards, you'll see that it was quoted by Mastertainment MT. And he says to that, oh my goodness, for the love of God, everybody stop crying about this. There's going to be a new T'Challa. There was always going to be a new T'Challa. Just wait a freaking minute so they can tactfully establish one. They don't feel comfortable putting another actor in Chadwick's old role because they loved him deeply. Once they establish a new T'Challa that doesn't undo Chadwick's T'Challa from history, then you'll get your T'Challa. Just wait a freaking minute.
And I'm past that.
I need to find a raccoon gif.
Past that, because we are 5 years in. We are 5 years into Chadwick Boseman's death. There's no more of this, that they need to still mourn. They need to still do this. They need to do that. You got the fast crew talking about bringing Paul Walker back and putting him, or not Paul Walker back, but bringing his character back and putting him in it. You've nenever seen this done anywhere else.
5 years later, you're telling me, just freaking wait a minute. After 5 years.
You've never seen this done anywhere else. This has never been done anywhere else. So you have to then wonder, again, what we've been saying for 5 years. Why don't they? And I hate, somebody said on Twitter here, let me pull that up. So I retweeted it. Somebody said on Twitter, they said, genuinely, why are they so scared to recast the Black Panther? Well, again, I know not everybody's been tuned in. I'm a very small channel. We gave you those answers too for 5 years. We gave you the keys to that vehicle too for 5 years.
Let me do it in my Darius voice. He is a black king. He is a positive role model. Little kids were dressing up like him in Halloween. They don't want that.
They don't want it. It terrifies them. It frightens them. A black king that's a superhero of an uncolonized nation.
Unfucking colonized.
That really doesn't have to work with the Avengers if he doesn't fucking want to. Chooses to. Has a galactic empire and all this kind of shit. That is terrifying because when he started becoming a household name, you had all these white kids for Halloween wanting to dress up as the Black Panther. You had the positive representation of the Black Panther gave. You even had the cast before the film came out saying how the executives were worried about it being a black ensemble and how that would sell in the box office. And it's made $1.3 billion. They're one of their most successful films.
Yeah.
And I think it even in today's little statistics and things like that, it is one of the top 3 most successful comic book films of all time, up there with the 2 Dark Knight films. Correct? Am I right or am I wrong on that?
Yeah,
I think
can
I'm right.
check that right now. The most all time. It was here's Black Panther. Where you at? Here domestically, it is in 6th place domestically. The only other comic book movies are Spider-Man: No Way Home, Avengers: Endgame.
That terrifies them. And especially in again, I know you. I'm not trying to. I don't want to always bring in the politicals, the real world with it, but it plays a role. It plays a role, especially in the things again that we're currently witnessing. Trying the erasure of black culture, the erasure of trying to erase black people. Why would I want to put a positive nigga on the screen that's powerful? That gives them hope. That could tell these black little boys that I've told that they're going to grow up and be gang members their whole lives that, hey, no, because remember, I know some of you may be new here. When Chadwick Boseman's brother said after he watched the film, after his nephew watched the film, he didn't want to be Okoye. He didn't want to be Killmonger. He didn't want to be BP. He didn't want to be Spider-Man or any of the other. He wanted to be a scientist. And that scares them. It scares them.
Yeah,
it scares them.
Oh, and you're talking domestically. Abroad, there is beautiful movement happening with Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad. Funny, his name is Chad. The country's called Chad. Mali are booting the French. Any sort of remnants of soldiers or foreigners, they're saying now we're going to use our independence for ourselves. The uranium right now in Niger, we used to sell you guys for 18 billion. Now $300 billion a year is how much we made because we kicked out the colonizer, the remnants of colonization. Ever since 1885, when all those European nations went over and met in Berlin and decided that, okay, you get to have that sector. In England, you get to colonize South Africa. You get Nigeria. You get all that stuff. The after effects of a great movie talking about independence, upliftment, all of that is being felt on the continent now. And I have to notice that it comes after 2018's Black Panther movie. Of course, there's more factors, but some of that inspiration has trickled in to the minds of the people who literally look like they're Wakandans in our real life world. There are great positive effects from just that one movie. Hey, imagine if there was 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this hero who has a sustained presence and becomes just as equal as Wolverine and as Superman and everyone else that's really, really big in comic books. That positive effect is negative to the colonizers, the evil people who are in charge of what we get in our media. And it is very racial. It is very significant domestically and abroad to have this powerful franchise at full strength with the lead character and not a distraction substitute character who's temporary, who's going to be T'Challa. Yes, I got to bring it back to T'Challa. Everything returns to T'Challa. The TJ thing that they're going to do is the reason why in year 2055 we're all going to say, man, look, all the Avengers, they're uniting. You know, why are all the big Avengers white? Why didn't we have a black one? Well, we did in 2018, and then the actor died. They decided to use like another substitute character, and so everyone got invested in this son of T'Challa, and T'Challa's son, someone that we stopped using because, you know, he's really not a main comic book character. So instead of investing in a character who's going to be ever present, we kind of didn't do T'Challa. It's a long-term bust. It's a failure, and it's probably done on purpose to redirect all of your guys' focus into TJ and making Toussaint older, calling him T'Challa. We say these things, we predict the future here on my channel and on Planet Fanatics, and now finally and except for MT, finally some people are coming to. Good job, everybody. Good job on shifting.
And like I said, I really don't want to make it, and I know I probably do. Sorry if I do. If I am. I can't, like I said, in that I can't help but be a little bit angry because, had everybody jumped on board, then it might have been different. It might have been. I can't say it would have been. I can only say it might have been different. Now, Coogler might have still done what Coogler's doing, and I agree here with Tina with what she said. Even though everything that I just said, that's true. Because it's not gonna change, and I hate to woo and then woo, but it's like I said at the end of that. I fear we're a tad bit too late. You allowed a story to come together that and fester since 2022. Since 2022, people that have stood up against the recast crowd from the movies, like Lupita, she didn't necessarily name the recast crowd, but she did say people that are saying, recast him or X, Y, and Z. You have Winston Duke who has stood up against it as well. This anti-recasting has festered since 2022, and it has grown. And people have been seeing, I'm sure, even though Coogler doesn't have Twitter or Instagram and that, I'm sure his people have told him, the overall presence online is, hey, they like what you did, brother. Lupita sees it. Hey, they like it. It doesn't matter. There's a group of people that don't like it, but the overall group does like it. So that's why I said I like the fact that everybody on Twitter is like, oh, this is stupid. This is wrong. This is this. This is that. These are the same fingers that were 2 years telling us you're disrespectful. These are the same fingers that were 2 years ago telling us you need to let it go. Again, I appreciate the catch up. I just fear we're too late. You've allowed this to fester. You've allowed this feeling in Coogler to feel validated and vindicated with the story he gave. And now that he feels that way, what is stopping him from continuing that story? Even if he didn't feel that way, I don't know that anything was going to stop him from continuing that story. Unless the studio themselves stepped in, but we know they're not going to do that because, again, if you're new here and maybe you didn't know, the studio gave it to him to decide whether or not to recast or not. That's why I've been saying for forever, they go to Coogler for everything when it comes to this IP within the MCU. So if I have a story that I've told already, why? I'm not going to negate from that. I can't say he isn't or is. I just don't. Let me put it this way. I don't see him personally from what I've read in the room, the tea leaves that I'm looking at, the lines I'm reading in between, the interviews he's given and the things he's not saying.
Yeah.
Lets me know, oh, they're full speed ahead. I think I can with this thing. The little boy is going to be the next T'Challa, and they won't call him I know people. Marcus definitely loves to push me back on this one. They're not going to call him Toussaint. No, he's not to put me back on this. He pushes me back on the acceptance of the overall audience accepting Toussaint as T'Challa. And I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's going to bother him. I don't think they're not gonna call him Toussaint. They're not gonna go around calling him T'Challa. He's gonna be T'Challa, and they're not gonna T'Challa he's just T'Challa. Now there are gonna be moments, I'm sure, within the MCU where he's gonna be like, I am T'Challa, son of something like that. But the overall, like when he's called for the Avengers, T'Challa, can you help us? It ain't gonna be Toussaint. We need you. Stat. No, it's T'Challa. And the crowd's gonna flow with that seamlessly. You may think I'm wrong. No, I don't think so.
No, I'll point at the example of E-Man, and I give him credit for everything he did in 2021 and all the appearances and amazing work he did. But when he says that it's a win for recast T'Challa to give him a son, like it's like the child accepting is going to happen on a widespread. Everyone's going to be okay with it, and the effects are long-term damage. Yeah. But when we're talking about tide shifting, though, I do notice he does say more negative things about T'Challa and stuff. But like not outright rejecting that the recast T'Challa campaign rejects aging up Toussaint and making him T'Challa. Yeah, he doesn't outright go there, but. Whatever. They bought E-Man off. Maybe everyone has the right to change, right? And I would respect it if E-Man goes, I changed my mind. I was, maybe after the movie, I felt this certain way about Toussaint and whatnot. But like, he can easily change. And as far as unity and like all of us being on the same page, if he wants to, come back out and say, yeah, I take back my words and all that stuff. That's just, he can do that easily. Yeah. So it's not the end of the world for E-Man, but it's worth me pointing out.
And on what Tina said there, being up to Feige, that too. Feige has the power to step in and change all of this. That is why, that's why I said earlier when we were talking about Feige, I was like, don't make it no mistake. I'm not defending this man. I have my problems and issues with Kevin Feige. I at one point in time, I loved Kevin Feige. I cannot stand the man because, like Tina said, he has the power to go in there and change this. He can go in there and say, here's what we are going to do. Here's when it needs to happen. I'll check back in when it's done. He has that power. He could do that. Kevin Feige is quoted and on video. All the stuff is Googleable. Everything that we have said in the span of the last 45 minutes is Googleable. He has said, when I used to go to the theaters, I would always see people on the posters. I would see the posters look like me and things like that. And I think that that's one of the coolest things about Black Panther was seeing the reaction to the little kids, the black kids that were seeing posters and seeing themselves in the posters. I was getting joy from that. I was like, yes, let's do more of that. Let's do this more. How you do that with a funeral is beyond me.
A funeral. And another tribute in Marvel Zombies. He's not even going to speak. You'll love it, guys. It's like the legacy of T'Challa is Chadwick Boseman's dead. Here's a reminder. From the studio, not from the video games. Yeah. Marvel Rivals isn't doing that.
Yeah. From the studio. Hey, just a reminder. It's been 5 years. We're still not doing that shit.
Brad Winderbaum. Remember his quote from yesterday at Screen Geek? I still have that tab open from yesterday because you know how it is. We keep tabs open. Screen Geek, and he was like, "Yo, Ryan added things." Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. We actually showed. Am I sharing? Here, I like this view. You know me. And we actually showed an early animatic to Ryan Coogler to get his notes, and he had some great ideas in that sequence that were really additive. I bet he made it sadder. I bet the additive things that he did was, remind them that Chadwick Boseman's favorite color was blue. Make sure that the sky is blue. Like, I'm sure this had a lot to do with mourning and terrible stuff.
Man. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's saying stuff about E-Man I'm not going to read. You guys can create your own YouTube channels and do that. That's not what I'm built on. Franklin can erase Malice and to Junior from existence. Paul Martin says, to show you Feige doesn't read comics, Luke Cage was in comics limbo from 86 to 92. His fans didn't love it, but at least he was alive. This was the option that MCU had. You're very right.
Yeah. At least he was alive. Fans didn't love it, but he was alive.
Treat him like the Eternals, the Giant Celestial. For 4 years, no one brought it up. We could have gave T'Challa a 4-year break.
Yeah. It like I said, it sucks. I hate that everybody wasn't seeing it the way we were seeing it then, because it was never, maybe there are more rational heads and open and ears open, willing to listen now. When these things are said, it was never built on hate. So you can't take a few hateful tweets with hashtag recast T'Challa at the end of it and take that and think that that is the overall thought for the entire movement. It was never built on hate. It was never built on misogyny. It was never built on any of those things that and you should know this if you do watch me from my worldviews, stand against. It was never those things from my side, Chill side, back of the bus, Tina, or any of these other guys that are watching. It was never from that side of for us on that end. It was always just about seeing the character back on screen. It was always about recasting the character and letting the character continue on like all these other characters that they get to do. It was never about any of those things. We didn't want to see the character die on screen. That's what it was. Again, and now we're about to see him, I guess, die again. If you do watch Marvel Zombies, but it was never on any of those things. So with ears hopefully now willing to listen, you guys, I mean, again, I don't know if that's really if that even matters anymore. I think it mattered. I'm not gonna say it still doesn't matter. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna just throw hope in the well, but I think it mattered a lot more when we were in that wrestling area of Wakanda Forever, when we were wrestling with anti-recasters, with just understand the plight of what we're saying. No, you guys are Snyder Cult. No, just that's not it. Understand what we're saying. I think that would have been more of the time if people would have been more willing to just listen, then start saying, okay, I do see where you're coming from, but everybody was so emotional as if they actually knew Chadwick Boseman. And a lot of you, and I'm not trying to be facetious, a lot of you only knew Chadwick Boseman due to his work in the MCU. You met Chadwick Boseman in the MCU. Most of you did not go do an extensive research on his resume and watch 42. You didn't watch Ma Rainey. You didn't watch what was Frederick Dutton? There was Thurgood Marshall. You didn't watch some of these other films that he was in. You went and watched, or Get On Up. You went and watched the MCU and thought through the MCU you had some weird morbid attachment to Chadwick Boseman. So no, I think we're too late though. I think we're late.
Actor in 34 movies he acted. Fuck, this is hard to look at. Let me zoom out. These are his roles where he's known for Black Panther, Get On Up, Avengers: Infinity War. Where's the rest? Expand below. 21 Bridges, Message from the King, Perfect Day, Heaven, In Retrospect, Blood Over a Broken Pond. Where's the movie he did with Spike Lee recently? The Five Bloods. Where's that one? He did a lot of movies. Saying he's more than just one actor, and he's more one role, and we shouldn't cement him. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, these are things we've gone on and said before. It's broken record at this point. I don't know what new I really have to add. Nothing I really said was new that I've not said in the past. Just outside of, I think we might be too late, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I still feel and think the way I do because, and this even more so kind of magnifies and doubles down on my feelings just because here we are on another animated project, a year removed from the last debacle animated project where we found out with him, and here we go again. So I just feel like they don't. Yeah, they feel the way they feel, and that's it.
It's all good, Darius. It needs to be said again.
Well, I appreciate it.
Chadwick was in Gods of Egypt. We even outlined several ways to bring back T'Challa, but it's up to Feige. Yeah, Secret Wars is the best way. It is a reset. It is the universe is the dead universe because there's an incursion. Now the universe is alive. Hey, guess what? T'Challa's back. Queen Ramonda, King T'Chaka. Everyone's back.
And if you really don't want to do the whole mess, because then you fall into the whole, well, then what about this Suri? And what about that Wakanda? And how is this Wakanda going to accept this? Sure, cool. Okay. The one in the casket was a scroll. We are literally in the Secret Invasion. All that happened. There were world leaders. T'Challa was considered a world leader. There were world leaders that were replaced. So there you go. He was a scroll.
Simple. There's no reason that the child route is the only thing that we can do. No.
Yeah. So you can do that.
They could reset everything. Thank you, everyone, for agreeing. But special thank you for the super chat.
Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings, and Fendi sports bra.
Toy Story Woody. He says talk that talk. And we did talk that talk. We talked so much of that talk that your super chat was like 20 minutes ago and we were busy talking that talk. Thank you, Grand Regent Threg. Kill off T'Child. I don't care what they do with T'Child. Just don't make him the guy impeding on T'Challa. If you want to do a story where T'Challa is the father of T'Child, sure.
You know, that here's the thing too, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm against this kid. I'm against this kid replacing T'Challa.
Yeah.
The kid was going to be in the story regardless, even if Chadwick Boseman would have beat his cancer. The kid was in the story, so you were getting the kid regardless. It was under the code name Summer Vacation. He was going to take his son out to the forest. They were going to do a Wakandan ritual, and then beep 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 beep, dun, 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 dun. What's the sitch? Hey, I need you to come over here. We got some shit. Hey, I got my son with me, but he's going to tag along. Father and son superhero film. That's what you were getting regardless. So I'm not against the kid.
Nope.
I'm against the kid replacing T'Challa.
Obviously. I want them to get rid of the child, but I don't know how you do it. Yeah, who cares, man? It's just a kid with a 5-minute role, supporting actor in the Black Panther movie. That doesn't bug me what they do with him. He's not that significant. As long as he's not the one being the lead of the movie in place of T'Challa. They could use Franklin to wake T'Challa. Like, you're right. There was that scene, that one scene.
What? You sure in the fuck could. Hey, get them
Fantastic
cosmic powers
Four.
from Franklin. Let him touch T'Challa, and there you go. Maybe, for all we know, hell, they like to do things, say things happened off screen that we didn't see. That's a new trend over at Marvel Studios. For all we know, how do we know Reed wasn't already in contact with this T'Challa? They don't know each other. Now my friend is dead. Oh, but I have a baby that has magical space powers that can. And don't say, oh, that's stupid. There's a talking tree and a raccoon. I want to remind you of that. Remind you of that.
And there's something else that happened off screen. It's that Sam Wilson has Avengers now. He's the leader of an Avengers team. That happened off screen. We're just gonna accept it.
Off screen. So, yeah, there's a lot they could do. There's a lot they could do to remedy all of this, and it starts, like Tina said, with Feige.
All this stuff is so messy. Unless they push BP3 off to late 2028. If it's early 2020 or late 2028, you feel like that's a matter of why? I don't get the reason why it's got to be late 2028. What's crazy is if Black Panther 3 comes out in 28 and Secret Wars in 27, they'll already be running Black Panther trailers with Secret Wars. Okay, I think I understand.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why you said that.
That's true. That is true. They would be doing that. They would probably start. He would be filming. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you've already got what Denzel said. So that kind of tracks with. Well, he didn't give a timeline, but he said his next film. So that would be with Coogler's. I'm assuming Coogler's next film, right? His next film would be Black Panther.
He's doing X-Files too.
Is that a movie?
No.
Series? So yeah. I would assume his next film is, I don't know what he's got going, but I would assume his next film is Black Panther. We're in 2025, about to end 2025, going into 2026. That film has to come out, and
nothing changes in the next 3 years. Actually, what changes is the sentiment moves closer to us. That dude Rolliver Queen that you just sent us, that influencer who's got like 1,000 followers, that dude there's gonna be more of him.
Yeah, that's great, and I'm glad. I'm glad. Continue to use your voice. Continue letting. Is that gonna do anything? I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, Ryan Coogler does not have social media, so he's not seeing these things. He's living in his bubble where, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna do it this way, and he's just gonna do it that way.
Which is why, if you have time with Ryan Coogler, it is a duty of yours to mention recasting T'Challa, rejecting Toussaint's.
Yeah, Tina says, yep, it's BP3. They should be going into pre-production next year. So, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I fear might just be too late. Unless him and the Russos have cooked up something to where it's like, oh yeah, use this and that's gonna trickle into my movie, but that's giving you some big. I don't know that him and the Russos have been on the phone with one another. Hey Ryan, we're filming with a bunch of actors and actresses right now, but we need your opinion on what we can do with T'Challa in this. You got a second? Maybe. I don't know.
No, of course. He's getting emails for X-Men 97 and Marvel Zombies. He's getting a phone call for the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. We'll see. T'Challa.
Yeah,
T'Challa.
Yo, so riveting, but it's meaningful. It's worthwhile getting hot over it. And I don't know. I'll keep doing the videos as long as I keep giving content on it, but they are probably not going to say a damn thing about T'Challa anymore. I think they noticed. Remember that time Ryan Coogler was laughing about it on Breakfast Club and the nervous laughter and shit like that? Like that, he knows we exist, or our sentiment exists. Maybe not specifically the Canadian chillmonger and the Oklahoman, but he knows that we're out here. Nate Moore, again, shout out to E-Man again, so I give him credit here. He asked Nate Moore about it, and Nate Moore was like, yeah, I know who you are. So they're aware.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I do expect to see a Black Panther in the next 2 Avengers films. Just who that Black Panther will be, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yep. Thank you all for joining us. My back is aching. I want to stretch it out. If you would let me.
Pause.
So no.
Oh, I just said pause.
My back is aching and I want to stretch it out. No, I want to stretch my back. I want to blow my back out, Darius. That's pause.
Well, see, that in a moment before you even said it was a pause. You should have caught that it was a pause before. Anyway, we do appreciate everybody that was here. If you are new here and you liked what you saw, there's that like button. You can go ahead and hit that like button. He is Chillmonger. You go to his channel and hit the subscription button. I am Planet Fanatics. You can hit the subscription button on my channel as well. Like this video. It definitely helps both of us out. The audience, this community, again, is great. I love this community. I love hanging out with you guys, and especially when you guys make me passionate about shit. So, but we'll be back here on Monday for another week of the afternoon woke up. And so tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and bring somebody. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and thanks for being a friend. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Travel down the road and back again.
Hey, so we started from the bottom, now we're here, girl. Oh, yeah. This is my part right here. Ooh, hallelujah.